Tiffany Henyard. So here's one of I did two of them this week that I thought were pretty silly. And, just getting some things off my chest. So let's bring this in. And guess what? We also got another friend up in the building. There we go. D-Love in the building. What's happening, friend?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey,
good.
Mama.
All right. Hold on. Now this is, if I'm not mistaken, this meme is from the Squid Game movie. Is that what it was? I think this is from the Squid Game. So you'll get the joke of it in a second. One in the chat when you can hear.
Residents, I am reporting for duty.
So
residents, I am reporting for duty.
So apparently in Squid Games, like they took a picture of the people at the beginning and then they took a picture of them at the end. Is that right? And then they looked like really beat up and worn out over time. Is that about right?
Well, no. In Squid Games, if you lost the game, you were.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe
So
that's
we
what
have
happened to this
to
guy. Maybe that is what happened to this cat.
Well, he
All right.
looks alive, though.
That's true. He might be alive. He might be alive. What's going on, D? Love in the building. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Quite well. Now, D, we're about to watch this Tommy G. Did you watch the one yesterday?
I started watching a little of it, and I said, "Let me stop because this is outrageous. I'll wait for you."
Oh, so you haven't seen any? You haven't seen any of them? Oh, you about to have a blessing today. We about
So the
to
one
bless
we're
you.
watching today is the first one, or is it it's the first one?
Today is the first one. So D can go back and watch the one that dropped last night, and then put it all in context. So we just did it out of order. We did 2 and 1. She doing 1 and 2.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody that's already jumped into the chat. All right. So if you're not familiar, Tommy G is a documentarist. Is that fair? Journalist, documentarist that does these documentaries. And apparently, again, like last year, he came to Dolton and did a documentary or an interview with Tiffany Henyard. And then he came back to Dolton during the election cycle and did another interview with her. And that's the one that we watched last night, if you were watching the stream last night. And somehow or another, I apologize, I didn't know about the first one. So when people asked me about it, I was like, what are you talking about? And lo and behold, we watched last night. I was like, this is amazing. This is great. And I'm with you, Chicago Red. So then they said, well, there's a first one. I said, well, say less. And so now here we are. So shout out to everybody that's jumping in. Looks like about 110 of y'all. Shout out to y'all. Go hit that like button. Jump into the best live chat on the internet. Say what's up to your besties. If you've already hit that like button, go and hit that green heart in the chat. Let them know that you here. Let me make sure I shared this tab. And we're going to get this thing.
Look, I just put the heart up. I was like, oh, no, Tiffany does that.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, right?
She done ruined it. She done ruined it for everybody. I mean, there's a whole middle school groups of kids that don't do it anymore because of Tiff. Because of the youth. The youth don't want to even do it. All right, let me make sure I got this right. All right, let us exploring, and the title is Exploring the Most Corrupt Mayor in America. Good gracious, Tommy. Tommy was not playing games. So, yeah, but definitely let me know. We'll get it going. Let's go.
Sir, can you explain to us a little bit?
I will not. You guys step over there on public property.
The goons have come out.
I remember this.
His editing is sick.
Milwaukee representative. Hello, folks. I'm Tommy G. Today we're looking into the most corrupt mayor in America, allegedly.
Do y'all see where he's standing in front of?
Sign with a park.
That's the water park.
On Greenwood.
Yeah.
That's the water park, wherever. So what did they do with that? Did they ever make it? What did they make this? Or is it still just a...
Still vacant land.
Where that sign is, where you see that sign right now, they took somebody ripped the picture off. It's just wood now.
Well, that's probably that's probably fitting.
Very apropos.
But it's still just a big green space.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they could make it a soccer field if they wanted to.
They could.
Okay. All right. No, I'm just wondering. I mean, it looks like a nice sized piece of land. I didn't realize how big it was. But
it's the length of the street, but it's not very wide.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So it couldn't be a rugby pitch. But okay, cool. Let's go.
The mayor. Is she a hero or a villain? We're in a town with potentially one of the most corrupt mayors in America. We're still looking, but this is just for videotaping. Look how many police they brought out here. Are you gonna get in your vehicle? I'll get in mine, you get in yours? One day while scrolling through TikTok, I was assaulted by a barrage of videos covering Dolton, Illinois Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She refers to herself as the super mayor as well as the most powerful woman in Chicago's South Side. But does she use her power for good? People on the internet and in her own community have been calling her the most corrupt mayor in America, and here are some of the things she's been accused of. Stripping business licenses away from people that don't contribute to her charity, pay-for-play kickbacks and bribes, taking lavish first-class trips on the taxpayer dime, making the city pay for her own personal ice skating rink.
Okay. All right. So last night they talked about the ice, and you can see the ice in this picture. If you look right here.
Pay for her own.
Okay, that's the ice. Y'all see the ice tiles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are the infamous ice tiles. Those are them. And last night she said something like the ice is in the garage. Or
don't forget to mention that that was the $40-something thousand in charges from Amazon.
Right. So that's the 47. Even though when we did the math, the math wasn't math, and like, what did you need that much ice for? But that's where the infamous ice tiles were. How old is this? Is this a skating rink?
I don't even think it's. I was gonna say about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Because again. I did think it was interesting. So this year would have been the third winter. Is that fair? Would have been the third winter?
I would say probably the second.
The second winter. So this picture would have been the first winter.
That was last year.
That was last year. That would have been the first winter with that. So it's just interesting that they didn't even put the ice tiles out this year.
Mm-mm.
So those ice tiles are just sitting in the garage again. And I'm not saying that there's a lot of people that ice skate, but they didn't even get used this year.
No, they're roller skating on that right now.
Right, they're roller skating on it now, but when it was cold outside, they couldn't ice skate on it. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, but when I looked at when I went to there the other day, it has a lot of skating rink the black mark on the wheels, and it looked like it's been there for a while. So it looked like
because it's weathered. It got beat up it got beat up. I'm sure it's just sitting out there in the sun. Even though y'all not hot like us here in Georgia, I'm sure that thing was eviscerated by the sun. But and the weather, of course, overall. So all right, let's keep it going. What in the world?
Where did my styrofoam box of your
I don't know. Hold on. I'm sorry.
The box of your meat that was in the fridge.
Hold on 1 second, Joe. Let me pull this up.
Own personal ice skating rink, using the taxpayer money as a marketing budget for self-promotion for things like 122 billboards with her face on it, and using tens of thousands of taxpayer money dollars per month to hire a PR firm that's designed to clean up her image. And I'll give her this, her image is tough to clean up. Here's some more reasons why. She double dips as both the mayor of Dolton and the village of Thornton township supervisor, and she's made it so that if she's not reelected as supervisor, the incoming person would receive a 90% pay cut. She's racked up credit card debt.
Did anybody want to speak intelligently on that?
Where he said the village of Thornton Township?
Yeah, that whole, the pay cut thing.
Wait, play it back a little bit.
Okay, here it comes right here.
And she's made it so that if she's not reelected as supervisor, the incoming person would receive a 90% pay.
Oh, okay.
But that was for Thornton, not Dolton.
That is correct. That's Thornton. But also, somehow or another, she weaseled her way in and got the former supervisor's salary. And so the actual supervisor salary is supposed to be something really, something in the range of about 25 to 30 or whatever it was, something crazy. But she was saying that basically, once I leave out of this office, out of this position, it goes back to what it originally should have been. I don't know how she weaseled her way in and got Zuccarelli's salary, the former supervisor. But go ahead.
Because when she took his position, she took it in the middle of his term.
That's it.
Yeah. So she would collect whatever he was getting at the time.
That's what it is. And so, of course, if she had been able to stay on as supervisor, she probably would have stayed with that salary or try to flex her muscles to keep something close to it. But since she got kicked out, whoever was it, Napoleon or Nate, whoever gets in there is only going to get whatever the original. They'll probably try to find some way to get up there too, though. Politics.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Pay cut. She's racked up credit card debt like she's trying to set a record, and she tells the residents things like better have my money and compares herself to Martin Luther King. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's alleged that she rolls around like a crime boss. Some people claim that she's even gone as far as having the cars of people that oppose her shot up to intimidate them. She rolls around in a convoy of extensive private security, of course on the taxpayer dollar, and it's said that she has the police force in her pocket partly due to the outrageous amounts of overtime she allows her officers to be paid. Again, on the taxpayer dollar. I hope you're noticing the theme here. Unfortunately for Tiffany and her police chief lapdog, Officer Louis Lacey, I have in my possession receipts, disciplinary forms, documents, and insider information that we will be diving into in great detail today. Folks, this channel does not stand for bullies, and by the end of my expose, I'm sure you'll draw the conclusion that Tiffany, Officer Lacey, and their cronies are not only bullies of the worst kind, but an absolute disgrace to the title of public servant. The FBI is currently investigating her, so I hope she gets to see this video, but I'm not sure what the Wi-Fi situation is in Cook County Jail. Let's begin the episode.
All right, before we jump in, anybody want to? That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
I like his build up.
Yeah, his editing is out of control.
It is.
Like, my goodness.
And
All
I've
right.
seen this video before.
You have?
Tiffany should have had him do her video.
Oh, she can't afford them. He started a GoFundMe for Dr. Scott. That's how I saw this video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he mentioned that last night. So yeah, we're gonna see that as well. Shout out to him. Let's go.
First day out and back to work like shit ain't nothing happening. Was gone 190 some days, but shit I'm back in action. Pull on this block and put my gloves on just like Michael Jackson.
Hopefully, folks, if you're watching this right now, you have the privilege of living in a democracy. And if you live in a democracy, that means that you've elected people that should represent you and have your best interests at heart. Right now in the United States, we have a crisis with our politicians. There's an awful lot of people that are abusing their positions of power to enrich themselves and to you, the citizen. You can look at the national level where we have people like Tommy Tuberville, Nancy Pelosi, U.S. senators and congresspeople that, while being full-time politicians, are also somehow the best stock traders we've ever seen. They're outperforming Wall Street. Today, folks, we look at it at a local level. We're looking at the most corrupt mayor in America. And I have to say allegedly, because this mayor, Tiffany Henyard, she likes using the legal system. People that don't agree with her or speak out against her. She has a lot of cases that have been filed.
Y'all should be ashamed of y'all stuff. Y'all black and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman.
I want to avoid being dragged into court by her. So I'm gonna say this is all alleged. This is all my opinion. And we'll let the FBI, who's also in town right now, determine the facts of the case. We're speaking to a lot of people, angry, upset, and ready to speak out against this mayor for all.
Okay. Brown. Who's this young lady right here?
Sandra.
Oh, that's, yeah. She's the clerk. No, she's the assessor for Dolton Township.
The assessor. That's the one that got locked out of her office.
Yeah.
For that time. Okay.
Yep.
And then Stubbs and Chris Gonzalez.
Yep.
Carlisle. Okay.
all the egregious things she's
Tammy
allegedly done. So folks, let's pull up, let's hit the streets, and let's dive into this story.
You're in Chicago. You don't want to say pull up too loosely, my guy. White Castle in the building.
Mayor Tiffany, hero or villain?
She's a villain. She really don't be doing nothing for us. She tried to make a big show, a big act, but she's not doing stuff that really needs to be done.
We heard that the FBI is in town looking into her.
They are.
What is she allegedly guilty of, do you think?
Stealing that money. Because you know her family work with her. Most likely she's stealing money and giving it to her family and using it for herself instead of giving it to the people that actually need it. And she be having her names all on the trucks and stuff. Like, it be everywhere.
Bills obtained by Fox 32 under open records laws shows Thornton Township paid more than $10,000 for the vinyl signs themselves.
If you could speak with her directly, anything you would say to Tiffany?
Do better.
All right, did you say something, Chicago? Did you?
Nope.
Okay, let's D-Love.
No, I just laughed.
Oh, gotcha.
I think the young lady is 100% on point with all of her assessments.
And I'm wondering if she still have a job after this.
Man, she at White Castle. Tiffany ain't bothering nobody at White Castle. I hope not.
Nobody.
I hope not. Let's go.
Do you know the mayor, Tiffany? Yeah. Hero or villain? Villain! He's a gangster. Pulling up to the administration building, we're meeting trustees, people that are our public servants and want to speak out against us.
He literally just talking to anybody.
So Mayor Tiffany, hero or villain?
From what I know, villain. The security guards is getting like 300 hours on their checks and stuff.
The officers are paid every 2 weeks, which without overtime is 80 hours. But when they're put on Henyard's detail, that 80 hours balloons to well over 100 hours, sometimes 200 hours. And in the case of Officer Terry Young last May, 303 hours worked over a 2-week period. That resulted in a single paycheck of more than $13,000.
How does a person put in a 2-week pay period, 303 hours? That's impossible.
How are you securing somebody in your sleep? How are you getting 300 hours so you know that she's pulling money from somewhere? I don't know where. She's not pulling out her butt, so clearly we know this from somewhere.
Oh my.
I'm rocking some new attire, okay? Rip mainstream media. They've tried attacking me, this channel, because we stand for truth and actually talking to people. So if you want to join the resistance, join the movement, link is in the description. And I'm actually going to FaceTime 3 people that buy it in the next 48 hours. I'm picking 3 of you to FaceTime, talk to you, connect to you. So join the movement, link in description. What do you expect of a mayor when you elect them? What kind of behavior do you expect?
Leadership, inclusiveness,
What is a trustee?
the governing body. We maintain the finances, amend, and make laws for the community.
Now, if she does indeed go to prison for this, will you be putting any money on her commissary?
No, she's using the police as her scapegoat to intimidate, retaliate. People speak against her. They're giving people tickets. It's just a lot of stuff.
The police are in her pocket?
Yes.
Are they on her payroll or what?
Police are payroll.
Do you think she's a hero or a villain?
A villain. She is spending all the village of Dolton tax dollars and Thornton Township, which is part of the village of Dolton.
This is Valeria Stubbs, a vocal critic of the mayor who believes her home was shot up at the request of the mayor, stemming from a bitter feud they had last summer. Asked if she believed that Henyard was behind the shooting, Stubbs did not hesitate. Absolutely, she told the New York Post.
We have some of the highest taxes, property taxes in the Southland, and because we have a food desert out here, lack of businesses, we need all the tax dollars that we can get. She created Greenwood Falls ice skating rink that is never open, that does not generate any revenue whatsoever.
It's your mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, the people's mayor. We're finally in the second phase of Greenwood Falls. And remember, we do this for you residents because we care. You come first.
I saw a video where she was in the ice rink having a party.
Only when she's having something is the ice skating rink open.
So she basically has a personal offering that she's gets your taxpayer dollars and gets to use for her own parties.
Yes. When she went to a board meeting and dressed as Nino Brown, said that the residents blink better have her money.
What's being referred to right now is the town hall meeting when Mayor Tiffany walked in dressed as Nino Brown from the movie New Jack City with the Rihanna song playing in the background, better have my money, as a message to her residents.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
What she fails to realize.
All right. So did y'all have her? Did y'all have your money? Did y'all have her money?
Well, I'm not in Dolton. I'm in Thornton Township. So she wasn't talking to me.
Did you have your money, D-Love? Did you have her money?
Well, I'm also in Thornton Township. I'm not in Dolton.
Look, y'all better just pay her anyway. Just pay her anyway. I didn't realize there's the lawyer right there. I just realized that's the lawyer right there.
That's her.
Oh, sure is.
The one that was on Zoom call last night.
Yep.
I did not even notice that. That is wild. Okay, keep it going. Just make sure you have her money.
Is that is not her money. That is the taxpayer money. But this is much bigger than Mayor Tiffany. This is a larger trend around the country of public servants and institutions showing that they have no regard where our money goes or how they piss it away. For example, the Department of Defense has failed their audit the last 10 years in a row and are unable to account for up to $3.1 trillion worth of assets. They are accountable to us. We fund them. So my question to them is, where is our money? And they need to answer that.
There's two sides of this. There's the township and the village, and she kind of double dips. She's the mayor of the...
She's the mayor of the village.
She's the mayor of the village, and she's also a supervisor
for the Thornton Township.
And combined, her income from this job is...
I say over $300,000 a year because she get perks too.
but she would make it that if the next person that gets elected would get $25,000.
Right.
So that's a kind of way to ice out the competition.
She was appointed to that position, not elected. If she was elected to that position, that salary would go down, and I believe it was approximately $50,000.
The FBI is in town. Do you think Tiffany knows she's cooked, or do you think she thinks she's innocent, or what do you think?
I really don't think that she thinks she's going to jail. I'm also a former Cook County Sheriff for the Department of Correction, and I suggest that she go and take a tour of that facility so she can see what's in store for her.
That's, folks, you don't need to be a corrupt mayor to need a lawyer. Is it fair to say that Mayor Tiffany probably needs a good lawyer?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Everyone needs a lawyer. Everyone should have a lawyer in their back pocket. I have lawyers in my circle and they're very helpful. Here's why. Life can happen. One day you can be walking down the street and you get hit by a car.
Oh my gosh.
You get attacked by a dog. In situations like these, you need a lawyer.
You can check out Morgan & Morgan.
They are the nation's largest personal injury firm.
I didn't even see that
One of
coming.
their victories in the last couple months was winning a Philadelphia client $26 million. Do you want a pipsqueak lawyer that...
You need a lawyer, Chicago?
I might in the future.
Well,
I keep a low profile though.
Keep a low profile. Well, reach out to Morgan & Morgan if you need them. Absolutely. What's going on? IRS in the building?
What's up, IRS?
Hero or villain?
Villain.
How is Tiffany doing with taxpayer money?
I don't have enough information, and that kind of goes to the root of the problem. There isn't much transparency. There isn't much back and forth as far as, you know, hey, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, things of that nature. But then it also goes into different things like types of accommodations and things, and I know a lot of people have heard things about that as far as like, you know,
You don't need to be in the Bellagio
exactly.
penthouse.
If you're going to get the stipend, then you use it for your meals, you use it for your transportation, things like that. You don't go then and put everything on, say, the township credit card.
They say if you want to find the truth, the best way to do it is to follow the money. So we obtained the Thornton Township credit card statements through a Freedom of Information Act request and got to digging. When we looked through these, we noticed that Tiffany herself does not have a credit card. However, another one of her lapdogs, Thornton Township and Village of Dolton Administrator Keith Freeman, has made some awfully sus purchases in the last year. Take, for example, a round-trip flight from Chicago to DC. Despite an economy ticket running about $200, Tiffany and Keith booked flights on the Thornton taxpayer dollar for $1,265 each. That's first class, folks. Another set of transactions is the Bliss Beauty, a local hair salon. $565 on January 16th, $1,225 on February 3rd, and $1,700.
What is PayPal though? Why is it? So they use the PayPal. Why does it say PayPal? You see that?
I think that's how she's paying her makeup artist.
Yeah. No, it's Bliss Beauty. That's the wig. That's her wigs. I saw that.
Right.
Isn't that her makeup artist?
But why does it say? See, there's also other ones up here that say PayPal as well. PayPal system style. Sorry, yeah. Style me,
Brandon.
Oh, that's Brandon. That's him right there. That's a stylist.
Yeah, that's
really.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Stylist.
Okay, interesting. They did eat out a lot. They did eat a lot.
This pause. I wanted to hit on something that Chris Gonzalez mentioned about the stipend.
Correct. Go ahead.
In the second video where Tiffany had her props on the street and they were talking about how they felt like the mayor or any person in government when traveling deserves to fly first class or deserves to have steak meals. Yeah, they deserve to have whatever they want to have within the limits of the stipend.
That is correct.
And anything that you want outside of that, that comes out of your pocket, not the people that you're supposed to represent.
That is correct.
You're going somewhere to try to bring money into the village, but while you're there, you are draining them dry.
I got
and when you look at this description right here, count how many times these are for restaurants.
There's a lot of them on this page alone.
Yeah,
there's at least, let me see, 1, 2. I'm gonna go with Budweiser. Grubhub 3. Uncle Julio's 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7. But we got Jewel. We got, I don't know what Blueberry Field is, but that's only $30.
It's at South Holland.
Is it Pancake House?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
good too.
Okay, then what's Uncle Julio's? What is that?
A Mexican spot.
Okay, so there's at least 10 places in between February 13th and February 22nd. I mean, they eat out every day.
Every day.
For her to eat as much as she does, she keeps her weight down. I need
Shout out to her. Shout out to her. That's because she
I
running.
need her metabolism.
Because she running. Because she running. All right, let's keep this dance going. Let's go.
$135 on February 19th of 2023. Now, my question for Keith and his purchase of $5,400 on beauty supplies is, are these wigs for you? And if that case, Slay Queen, or are you secretly buying wigs for Mayor Tiffany and running up the taxpayer dollar for her? Next, let's talk dining. Mayor Tiffany and her comrades love spending money on extravagant meals, like $427 at Theo's Steak and Seafood and $426 at Hamada of Japan are just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, in the first 2 billing periods of 2023, Keith Freeman spent $5,900 towards meals on the Thornton Township card.
Wow.
Which begs the question, folks, is this illegal or merely unethical? Because to me, a public servant should not be balling out on the taxpayer dime. The question of legality is not for me to decide. I'll let the FBI handle that one.
Let's just say Tiffany watches this video and you could say a message directly to her. What would you want to say?
Just resign. Just leave. Let me do my job.
If you're gonna be a public servant, you better act like it or get the hell out. I'll see you in jail.
I would like for you to repent for the sins that you have done or go to jail.
We've gone through all this where there's no transparency, seeing where money's been misspent, unfortunately. It's beyond something I think that could be repaired and fixed at this time. It's time to go.
Pulling up to a strip mall to talk to a business owner,
Okay, so we're going to get there in a second. Shout out to the fact that, do you realize that if Chris Gonzalez had not made that last, 11th hour Hail Mary to get her in here, the people would have voted, and it's very possible that they would not have had this. Let me ask you a question, and you all can speak on this. What was the urgency to fill that void of Zuccarelli? What was the urgency of it that they had to do it that night, late in the midnight hour, rather than just allow the people to vote? Anybody? You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because they didn't want to go to the people for the voting. They had 11:59.
Yeah, literally 11:59. Yeah.
So they didn't want the people to vote. That's what this is all about.
Wow. And now look where they are. If you had not done this, I did a video on Chris, shout out to Chris Gonzalez. I think he's recognized the problem, but if he had not done this, if he had not pushed for Tiffany to be supervisor, we would not be having this conversation.
If he had done his homework and checked with Dolton before he put her in that position, then we wouldn't be in this position.
So last night, the Republican Party, I forgot the name of the young lady, she was speaking to the Lansing Journal, and she hypothesized that he did know this. She threw out the notion, this was after the board meeting, she throws out the notion that he did know, but he wanted to get, I guess Chris Gonzalez has some construction contracts and some construction business, and wanted to get his company into the Thornton Township because he had already been doing work in Dolton and wanted to get his work in Thornton. So he wanted to get Tiffany in there so he can get those contracts or whatever like that. Lo and behold, she didn't agree with him once she got in, and that's where they split ways. That's just what the lady proposed as a hypothesis last night.
You're talking about the one that's running for trustee of the township?
That is correct.
Keisha.
Yes, I think that's her name.
That's my institution. I know.
Well, girl, everybody, everybody. Somebody is your cousin, your dog walker. Oh yeah, that him. Oh, he washed my car. Everybody.
I'm weirdly connected to a lot of people.
Well, tell her to call me so we can get her on the show and talk about it. I want to hear her thoughts. Okay. All right, let's get this back on. We'll get this back on the road. Let's go. So now he's about to go see Dr. Scott at Free Indeed Pantry, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Make sure I had it right.
Dr. Scott that has been screwed by the mayor. Let's see what she has to say.
Next, we meet Dr. Scott, who recently bought a strip mall in Dolton.
Shout out to Dr.
She's
Scott.
trying to bring much-needed services to the community, like a free food bank that functions like a grocery shop. But she's struggling against Mayor Tiffany's attempts to drown her out. Everyone I asked about Dr. Scott says she's like a saint and can't believe this is happening to her. Let's meet her and hear her story.
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. We're a nonprofit organization. We acquired this entire strip mall to bring additional programs and services to to not just Dolton, but the Southland of Cook County. The shelves aren't full now, but by tomorrow, we will have all the shelves full, and the numbers indicate how much of each item they can have. This area here, when we purchased the property, the idea was to open up, you know, a thrift store to give people access to quality items. We have not been able to do that.
How long has this been sitting vacant for?
July.
And you still have to pay property taxes.
Yes.
You still have to pay rent. You still have to pay overhead, insurance, all of that.
I still have mortgage. I still have insurance. I do partner with other organizations that give me volunteers, but I do have a small team that we have to pay payroll because we still function. We still try to serve the community by having the grocery store available.
If this isn't able to be funded, whose pocket does it come out of right now?
Mine.
Cities can have layers of bureaucracy that keep you from running your business and making money. And the longer that they keep this vacant, the longer that you have to foot the bill, and the longer that they cost their own people. This in particular makes me mad because when you see someone actually willing to take a risk like she is, and they're preventing her from doing it, it's not a good thing.
All of this space is to expand the grocery store. Right now, it's just being used as storage. Now, this room here is when we're able to do a pop-up fundraiser. We have things that have been donated to us that we sell to the community. All the clothes and things you see are $1, shoes are $2.
Wow.
I received a letter from the village telling me that I needed to have these 6 things in order for them to even begin to think about giving me permits. And that package was architectural drawings, which I've already submitted to the village, but they want to have a state certification stamp on those drawings, and just a number of different things that they were asking for as though I were building a building. I'm trying to do simple renovations to get us back up and running.
Flooring,
and
paint, lights.
they're requiring us to do a number of things that someone who is building a structure would need to do. For the type of work I'm trying to do, it doesn't require everything that they were listing. They wanted to come in and do a occupancy inspection. I didn't request the occupancy inspection, and so I said, no, you cannot do it.
Because what they were trying to do is come in and write you up for everything.
Absolutely, to shut me down. When we were closed down for 2 weeks because we had flooded, there was a mother who drove up with 3 kids in the car asking if we were open because she didn't know how she was going to feed her kids. That is what matters to me.
If you could say a direct message to Tiffany, what would you say right now?
It's really unfortunate that you sit in a seat of yes power. In my eyes, you did not do the right thing. I have no idea why you chose to stop something that could benefit the community that you love. You know, you grew here. Everybody else flew here. But I said to you when I met with you to see my heart and know that I want to help the community.
One way we fight corruption is with our vote, another way is with our dollar. I'm gonna donate $500 of my own money to this cause to keep this food pantry open and running so that the city can't squash her out of business, so she can help the people. I started the Rally Around Dr. Scott GoFundMe. I put $500 of my own dollars in. Let's flood this lady with money. Let's see what we can do as a YouTube community. And this is also a way to stand against Mayor Tiffany. Link is in my description. Let's blow her up. Thank you guys. Let's blow it up. Let's fund this. And let's give a big giant you to the Mayor Tiffany. If you try to approach her township, her fortress, what happens?
Fortress.
Come and
Crazy.
I'm up for the challenge. Let's head over to her township and see if we can speak to her or people that might know more about this story.
good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck on that.
If you need borrowing money, just call me.
Why is she like that? Okay. I like her. I like stuff. She's hilarious. All right. All right. So how do you what y'all think about that so far? Where y'all at so far?
I'm gonna pivot from time to time and talk about some of the points that he made in video number 2.
Okay,
because it
sure.
correlates with what's going on in the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
When he spoke to Keith Price in the second video, and he asked Keith about Dr. Scott, and Keith acted as if he did not know who Dr. Scott was.
Oh yeah.
So when Tommy G said, you know, it has the food pantry. And went on, and then Keith said, "Oh yeah, the one that has the rundown structure." I was so frustrated because you know why it's run down. They flooded, and now Tiffany is holding her hostage with these permits. That's why it's run down, and that's why the drywall is coming down or the ceiling is hanging. That just infuriated me how he said it as if she's in violation because of something she did on her own.
Correct.
No, that's not how that went.
No. Did you have something? Thank you so much, Chicago. Did you have something, D-Love?
Oh, I thought it was very impactful when I saw him do the GoFundMe for Dr. Scott. And really, that's the biggest thing that came out of this positive, if you want, because a lot of people started to give. For a while, I was watching it how it was growing, and at a certain point, it kind of died out. But she didn't touch that money as when I saw like in the fall.
I love it. Okay, well, let's keep it going. Let's roll. Thank you, friend.
Hello there. Yeah, as you can tell, some of the city officials don't want to talk about what's been going on, but
let's talk about the motorcade that Tiffany uses to roll around town like she's some sort of crime boss. We did some digging and we found the receipt from the car dealership that Tiffany leased these Tahoes from. On just one of these Tahoes, with a retail price of $93,000, Tiffany overpaid by nearly $56,000. I don't know if she's the worst negotiator on the planet or if there's something fishy going on here, but this is a shining example of how Tiffany has failed the hardworking taxpayers of Dolton. It's purchases like this that has led the town to be millions of dollars in the deficit.
we're probably not going to be able to talk to many of these people because they know that they're guilty, allegedly, but let's go into the township and see what we can find. I love bringing justice to a city. Is Mayor Tiffany, would you say, a hero or villain?
Hero, of course.
Why is that?
Everything she's promised, she's done. You get the garbage picked up properly. There are a lot of improvements. Like
Nice.
She has an amusement park for the kids on Greenwood Avenue.
Are you a citizen? Are you an employee of the city?
I'm a citizen. Yeah, I've lived here.
Okay, amusement park on Greenway Avenue. Are you familiar with that? Or Greenwood Avenue?
Greenwood is Greenwood Falls, where the skating rink is.
Oh, is there a play? Is there a playground? The guy said there's an amusement park.
No.
Okay, let me back to make sure I heard him right. Hold on.
You heard
a hero or villain?
Hero, of course.
Why is that?
Everything she's promised, she's done. You get the garbage picked up properly. There are a lot of improvements. Like
Nice.
She has an amusement park for
Amusement park for the kids.
kids on Greenwood Avenue.
On Greenwood Avenue.
I'm thinking that I hear an accent, so I'm thinking maybe he's mixing up his terms. There is no amusement park. Maybe he meant the skating rink.
But isn't there a playground somewhere around there? But isn't
maybe a playground?
Like on Dolton, I don't know what that street is when you I know I've seen a playground, like even at the field house. Maybe that's what he's talking about, the playground over there.
Possibly, but definitely far from an amusement park.
Yeah, maybe he just means a playground. Maybe it's a playground. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'll give a playground.
You can have playground for 200.
Avenue.
Are you a citizen? Are you an employee of the city?
I'm a citizen. Yeah, I've lived here for almost 32 years.
Because we talked to some people who are really upset about some of her spending. She's buying $150,000 vehicles, the fact that she's bought an ice rink basically for herself. The naysayers are saying some really damning things about her. What do you think about that?
There's this drumbeat to try to remove her. I don't know if it's because of her youth or what it is.
So would you say financially she's spending the taxpayer money appropriately?
I think so.
Why do you think the FBI is in town right now?
There's a lot of hubbub and a lot of stuff going around, people talking, and me personally, as a citizen of the city, I haven't seen anything overt.
We just talked to business owners across the street in that strip mall that are not getting permitted and licensed to open up things that will help the community. A lot of these people are saying because they don't donate directly to her campaign, you get stripped of your business license or you're not granted a business license.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. If there's such a thing going on, I'm against that for sure. I'm hearing a lot of allegations, but I have not seen anything concrete.
Hello, sir. Hey, good. How are you?
Okay. What do you think about that? Because
I fell in love with him when he said hubbub.
You like hubbub? He won you in hubbub. Okay, there we go.
He got me.
So, all right. So let me make sure I got this right. Because I've seen 3 Tahoes. Am I to believe each one of those is 100,000? Because I hear it's talking about 1 Tahoe, but I've seen 3 of them.
I'm not sure of how many were
That's crazy.
Purchased. I know they had a small fleet, but I don't know
You
how
said a
many.
fleet.
A small fleet. What makes
Oh,
a fleet?
fleet.
Is it
I don't know.
2 or more?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the standard is for fleet. If you know the fleet standard, put as many cars emojis in the chat as are an actual fleet.
I know she could have purchased a semi for the amount that she purchased that Tahoe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, she didn't buy it. It was a lease now, to be fair.
Well,
but even in that, I mean, that's not much better.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Or a lease. You don't even own it.
Right. The interest you pay on it, which is the craziest part on this.
Insane.
By the way, okay, somebody said there is a playground or amusement park on Greenwood. Playgrounds and parks are district responsibility. There's no playground. I'm sorry.
No playground. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Mike said, I guess he's saying 4 cars make a fleet, but then Piggy Doo says 3. Okay, so split in the middle, we'll say 3.5 cars. I do want to say thank you to We Not Beefing. You Just Mad. Thank you so much for the $10 super. Thank you so much. Showing some love. Great content creator, makes great art. We had a fantastic conversation last week. Looking forward to talking more about that. Let us keep this going. Y'all see your boy over here. Y'all see y'all boy.
I was gonna say, is that Daddy?
You know it is. That's your guy.
Oh, good. We're just doing a story.
Don't pray for me no more.
About the mayor.
Don't pray for me no more.
Villain. What is your take?
There go your guy right there.
I promise you, that man has about 50 pairs of brown pants.
What? Why can't I have 50
He is
pairs?
always in it's the brown pants. Always. And watch.
No, I don't have a take. I'm saying, what are you here for? You're just taking.
We're running a video right now.
But you got to get permission to do that.
In a public area, sir?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. This is a public area, huh? Okay. Which means you get to film in public. There she is, right there.
There she is.
Oh, is this a public area?
Yeah, but we don't. You have to get permission to take pictures of people here. You cannot be in here.
Wait, isn't this a public area though?
You can't be with the cameras. Come on out.
Wait, this is a public area.
Come on out, gentlemen.
Can you ask that question?
Step out, please.
Is this a public area?
Sir, please step out.
I don't think this is legal.
Sir?
That's a police officer saying that. Sir, can you explain to us a little bit?
I will not.
The man you see here is Deputy Chief Lacey. While you might look at him and think he's a Walmart version of Detroit Urban Survival, he actually is a man with a disciplinary report thicker than the Bible. He currently has 3 active lawsuits against him. All 3 of them allege violations of the Constitution for the acts he is committing. Let me share some of his past actions with you so you can get a picture of the man he is. Let's start with his petty incidents. One of his reports details him threatening the water company over a $300 bill he didn't want to pay. He's also known for trying not to pay tolls when he drives through them. But things get more serious. Many residents have banded together to note his excessive use of force and his use of the taser. In a 2012 incident, he was sued for 4th Amendment constitutional violations due to excessive force. Lacey lost this case and the judge ordered payment of $12,000 for the incident. In the summer of 2021, 19-year-old Alexis Wilson was shot 7 times and killed by Dolton police. Her mom emailed us twice, pleading with us to expose Officer Lacey. Activists Carlos West and Rabbi Michael McLeenan protested this killing 7 days later, exercising their constitutional right to free speech. However, their rights were violated by Officer Lacey once again when he ordered their arrest without due cause. They filed a lawsuit, and on March 4th, both of these men were awarded $50,000 in settlements. This is one of Mayor Tiffany's lead lapdogs that she uses to control the town through his goonish actions. Another case he was involved in resulted in the largest settlement in Cook County history, $33.5 million.
You guys step over there on public property.
This is not public property. Where is the public property?
Have a good day.
Can you not answer my question, sir?
Do you have ID? In Illinois, you have to have ID. Do you have ID?
All right. You cannot be forced to show ID. Okay. I need to back up a little smidgen so I can see the whole sentence. That's crazy, man. 33. 2 men were injured and 1 fatally in 2016 chase. The verdict is the largest ever award in the Cook County jury in a police misconduct case. Lawyers of the plaintiff says, wow.
And Dolton still hasn't paid them.
Say again?
And Dolton still has not paid these families.
Oh my gosh.
They still in court now. That's why when I heard Belcher say they're trying to attack our assets. But I didn't understand until I saw that.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
$1 million.
You guys step over there on public property.
This is not public property. Where is the public property?
Have a good day.
Can you not answer my question,
so silly.
Do you have ID? In Illinois.
Okay. You can be required to identify yourself only if the police reasonably suspect that you are in the process of committing a crime or committed a crime and you are in a public place. The police think you are a part of a crime and continue. All right. You cannot be forced to show ID. Okay.
But you have to have ID. Do you
We have ID.
May I see it, please?
What is the thing you suspect us of doing?
In a minute, I'm asking you.
This is a public taxpayer area that we're now being
Step over here, sir.
hassled.
Step over here.
The goons have come out.
Okay.
Here we, this is quite a response for people doing a story.
Keep walking, sir.
How many police vehicles are coming for this?
What exactly are you guys trying to accomplish out here?
The mayor. Is she a hero or a villain? This is part of the convoy too, guys. The taxpayer sponsored Tahoe's right there. At $150K for a vehicle. Oh wow. That's
Run me over some plates when you're ready.
I can tell you, sir, I'm not riding dirty in the slightest, so there's nothing to argue.
1, 2,
Sir, can you do me
3,
a favor?
4.
Sure.
Can you have your guys sit in the car, please?
What? No.
You sure?
If you want us to do something off camera, I'm surrounded by 6 people, I'm not about to do
Yeah,
that.
step back real quick.
Can you please tell me why you refuse to say what the public area is that you want me to go to? Tommy G, they call me. Milwaukee representative.
Everybody cams on?
In Milwaukee, you can literally steal a car and rob a bank and not this many cops show up. So once I come up clean, then what?
Who else got ID?
Coming back. State of Illinois, you're supposed to have ID.
Go get your ID.
For what?
Come back. Hey, go get your ID. Unlock the car so you can get his ID.
It's not a request.
Oh, it's not a request.
Not at all.
You know you're liable, right? In Illinois.
For what?
Get it right. I know who you are. Got your information. Get it right.
That sounds like a threat.
Coming back. Valid.
Hey, dude, nice job. You're valid, dude. Good for you.
I'm legal, so.
Okay, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Are you gonna get in your vehicle? I'll get in mine, you get in yours?
Hey, go to your car. Have a good day.
What the f is going on, these motherfuckers?
I got into it. We should probably before they like.
That's intimidation. This is why the trustees did not want us to come here. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Is this something that someone that's innocent would be doing? Look, business. Shut down, and shut down. Mayor Tiffany, when you go to jail, there will be many people applauding it.
I think there's only 20 police officers or something like that.
There's a lot.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
That's wow! Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's Deputy Chief Lacey. He's the biggest jerk of all.
Officer Lacey, you want to handle this like a real man? I will pay you a week's salary. Any gym in Illinois or Wisconsin, I'll meet you there, handle it like men. If I lose, I give it to you. If I win, I donate to charity. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna keep your little butt in the office. You're not gonna take up a real challenge. I don't with bullies. You try messing with the water bill company when they're trying to collect their bill from you. You try messing with the toll people. You have a long history, longer than a Harry Potter book, of you messing with the citizens of your city. Come here like a real man and sort it out, but or you can stay your scared little butt in the office. You pick. You're built like a potato. All right.
Dang.
Wow.
Not you built like a potato.
That
Man.
was such an abuse of power.
Yeah, that was a major abuse of power.
Ridiculous.
Now, where did he go? He retired and because of his
he was fired.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes. All right, so he's fired.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but he's gone away though. He's not running around riding dirty in Dolton and Thornton Township anymore, is he?
Well, you know the letter boys came for him.
Oh, that's right. The Alphabet Brothers came.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it. All right. Let's see what Stephanie got to say.
Funny.
I didn't even get to the part where
Is that
I tell
not a
you
public area?
that she's had me arrested.
What?
Yes, for picking up her campaign literature off my windshield of my car.
You got cuffed.
Yes, 8 months of them continuing, the court hearing for the case to be dropped by the state's attorney's office for lack of evidence.
Was where we were public area?
Yes.
Inside and outside.
100%.
We were escorted out, made it seem like we were doing something illegal, taking our IDs, pressed. They wouldn't tell him that if we didn't give him our ID, they were going to do something. He had threats to us. You've done the FOIA request. You have all the documents. What kind of stuff have you seen in those documents that catches your attention?
Things that stand out, obviously, are the travel. I mean, it's huge.
Stay out of Atlanta.
2 trips a month, 3 to 6 days for every trip. I would say 95% of them are unrelated to the township. She went to Portland, Oregon for some conference called the Her Voice, like a women empower leading other women to God. Anybody who knows when you're using taxpayer funds, when you start putting religion into it, it's a touchy situation because you govern in the township with 190,000 voters. Not all of them believe the same thing you do.
How is she living when she goes on these trips?
It's outside of her own pay scale. That's how she's living. She's not living a $300,000 a year life like she's making. She's living a $1 million life because she's keeping her money and spending ours. You get a $600 per day per diem. You don't turn in receipts for those.
Which is very generous per diem.
You shouldn't be swiping the credit card for anything, ma'am. Why do I see all of your meals on here? Why do I see your hotels on here?
What kind of hotels is she staying at? Is it fancy?
Yeah, Hyatt, Hilton's, Four Seasons.
Four Seasons?
Oh,
Shout
yeah,
out to
you
the
name
Four
it.
Seasons.
Just the best of everything for her. Flying first class to Las Vegas. Her and Keith Freeman. I know the news didn't say that. He put out her $3,700 flight for herself.
She bought a $3,700 flight to Las Vegas?
But Keith Freeman's flight was the same amount. Her and Carmen Carlisle had, $1,600 flight to Atlanta.
Where is she eating? What kind of places is she going to when she eats on the road?
Steakhouses, lobster, anything you could think of that would be high-end dining. For the most part, that's where they're eating. Now, that looked a little different in their little bike ride to Springfield for her non-for-profit. On those trips, they stayed at Hampton Inn. They're bike riding, and they have a full-on DJ being pulled on a trailer behind them. I mean, they're blocking off streets for this.
What else is outrageous that you've seen now that you're privy to the books?
The amount of money she's spending on her PR. That's probably running Thornton Township about $25,000 a month.
So taxpayers, they're not only paying for the front end of all the bad stuff she's spending money on, but they're paying for the PR cleanup on the back end as well.
Absolutely.
What would it take to just remove her from office?
She was recalled. The residents voted to remove her from office.
What was the percentage vote to recall her?
It was about 56%. We were at about 1,900 to remove her and about 1,300 said to leave her.
Her salary is $224,000, but if she doesn't get reelected, the person that takes over would get $25,000, and that's a way to deter people from running against her?
The previous supervisor was in his 9th term. Now you can see the $200,000 salary because he worked for it for 32 years.
Yeah.
She keeps his salary because the law for township municipalities says if you take over his term, you complete the term. Whereas in a regular municipality, like if a mayor passed away and the board appointed somebody, the next municipal election, that mayor would have to run. That seat would be up. But in the township, it doesn't work that way. You finish the entire term. My previous boss had passed away 8 months into his term, so she had a full 3 years to finish. So she gets to keep his pay. What would happen though if she ran in 2025 and she won? She would have went to a first term salary. The pay scale was changed dramatically because she made it that she keeps the salary she has now. Anybody else goes down to 25. There's no more salaries by term. She removed that.
Is there anything positive you can say about the mayor?
That's
I
interesting.
will say she has some ideas that I think are great. The ice rink, it's beautiful. Visually, it looks nice. Had that been done right and had there been a plan in place, a plan for revenue, a plan, for long-term maintenance, a plan on how we were going to bring people out to make sure that the cost was covered at minimum. This could have been good things for the community. Because of the choice to always do things in a me manner, it never feels like it's for the community. All of the qualities that we see now that are like these big beast qualities, those were all there when she was just little Tiffany Henyard that was a trustee here in Dolton. They just magnified with the money and the power.
I got let go from the township. I was the maintenance manager for 20 years. I was getting ready to retire. I went on vacation. When I came back off vacation, I was locked out of my office, was told that I had to see Keith Freeman for my keys. I sat up at the township 3 days in the lobby, getting paid, waiting for my keys. And on the 4th day, I said, forget it. I just took 2 sick days. Then that Friday, I got a termination letter saying I was terminated.
And so your benefits from retiring, or did you not have access to that?
She didn't mess with that at all.
We got harassed by Officer Lacey. What can you say about him?
He's one of the mayor's lynchmen. He just got appointed that spot when the other police chief resigned.
Is there anything in the books that reflected police
That was Collins, right?
getting kickbacks from the mayor?
I think they're overtime.
Was that Collins?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It averages about 100 hours a pay period for her security. The one he had 303 hours on one bi-weekly pay period.
Most of that at an overtime rate.
Yep.
A $13,000 check.
Absolutely.
And that's a cop or security guard?
It was her security guard.
Folks, this channel does not stand for bullies, so I'm happy to put out this piece about Tiffany and Officer Lacey. I hope that town gets cleaned up soon. And folks, just a reminder to contribute to Dr. Scott's GoFundMe. Let's help her out. And last thing, RIP mainstream media. The independents like me are taking over and they don't like that. You want to rep the movement? Go to the website. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Remember back then they ain't give
All right.
but now they all do.
All right. What'd you think? What'd you think?
Pretty good. I think his follow-up was really good to this video, but this one was good.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dr. Scott's GoFundMe. Here, let me pull it up real quick, and I'll drop the link if you want to go ahead and support that. Go ahead.
And
What'd you say, Frank?
the question is, who voted for that decrease, for her increase, for her to keep that salary in her, or for the salary to go down? Who voted for it on that board? But like CL Smooth said, that he said, keep in mind the rule has been overturned, so that's not even true anymore.
I got you. Okay. $42,375 raised for, and she had a $15,000 goal, so she's crushing it. Shout out! I dropped the link if you want to support Dr. Scott and what she's doing over there at Free Indeed Pantry. Shout out to her. Shout out to Dr. Scott. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure we did that and made that available to y'all, so y'all check her out and support her as you see fit. I thought that was good though. I did enjoy it. I hate that I'm always nervous when I see people get into confrontation with the police. I'm like, yeah. So I was a little bit nervous there, but it is what it is. But besides it though, I thought it was informative for sure. I'm kind of interested though, after this, how did he end up getting action? I mean, Tiffany's in the second video. Like, how did he get Tiffany in the second video like that?
He got he has like 1 million subscribers. He has a lot of subscribers, so it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
And I think charisma will get you far. That's the one thing that Tiffany does have working for her. If Tiffany wasn't so corrupt, her charisma, it's infectious. It really is. I'm not even gonna deny her that.
You might need to go get a shot or something. I'm sorry, you might need to go get a shot or something. I don't know about that. That's not an infection I want.
Take away the corruption and take away the narcissism. Her charisma is like, you could be a decent person if you just worked on your insides a little bit and humbled yourself some. I think she could be revived, but she has to want that for herself. But yeah, I think that guy has the charisma that would attract someone like Tiffany to be open to him interviewing her.
Okay, I can dig it.
He doesn't seem threatening or any opposition that he may have had. He probably just, with a few words like, I'm just trying to see, the scale is imbalanced. I'm trying to balance the scale here. So just help me out. Yeah.
Okay. No, I like it. What would you, in this video right here, not knowing anything in the second video, what would you want him to have talked about?
he kind of hit on everything. He hit on the trips. The foundation. I don't think I would have.
He skipped right past that, right?
Yeah.
I would have gone a little deeper into the foundation.
I wonder why he didn't, because he did mention it, but he did solely, especially given the fact that we know later on he does call her out about the buying of the wigs, and her saying she went and bought wigs for people at the wig shop. That's where some of that $1,700 or whatever it was for a wig. But I agree. I think he should have did that. But go ahead.
When was this video posted? I know it was last year, but because the timing may have something to do with him.
It's about 12 months ago, and it said, wow, that video yesterday has 501,000 views already.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Okay.
So in March of last year.
Yeah, March of last year. 11 months ago.
The foundation not really being top on his list then. Because it really didn't start getting, the questions weren't coming up until a little later.
I think I just didn't know about it.
Right, like April, May is when it really started.
So it's 11 months ago. So that would have been April of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that they probably maybe filmed this maybe in February.
Possibly.
Now it's not cold
because
up there.
At that point, she hadn't even done the Roland Martin show.
Right.
No, she hadn't done Roland Martin, Angela Yee. Yeah. So, and I don't know if They didn't mention anything about the crimes that happened in Las Vegas. I'm wondering why they didn't. They only talked about the travel and going to Vegas. Nothing about.
Then they came look after, like the
the
conversation about it came out later.
Okay.
Because I didn't even know about it until Jed got involved.
Interesting.
Because
okay.
I think that's when Fania really, got her muscle to
I got you.
be out about it.
No, I agree. I like it. But that was a good one, and shout out to that. I'm glad we checked it out.
Definitely.
That was a good
I'm gonna have to tap into him. He's a good creator. I like his content.
Yeah, I was just looking. He's done several videos that are look like they're well received by the audience. So yeah, definitely shout out to Tommy G.
Tommy G.
Let me drop his link in the chat just so y'all can check him out after you watch this video. After, because I'm not Tommy G, so gotta help your brother out over here. All right,
absolutely.
All right, what you working on, Chicago Red? What you working on your channel?
I'm working on finding the strength and the energy to do anything. I'm so tired these days.
I understand.
Emotionally drained. I have not done anything in maybe a week, two.
Okay.
Whenever you had your last panel.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for being on our panel.
No problem.
What about you, Ride Along Queen? What you doing? Showing us the better side of Dolton. What you doing? Showing us the better side of Dolton.
I drove around today and I found Cassandra's little
yard
thing to
sign.
go in the grass.
Yeah.
I said, "Whoa, she do that somehow." Right on the corner.
Did you take some pictures?
She sent them to me. Hold on. She sent it.
I'm gonna go back tomorrow and videotape. I was driving by, I had something to do. I said, "Oh, I need to stop and take video of this." But
you just stay off the Bishop Ford taking pictures.
I ain't gonna call you out, but I'm with her on that.
Hey, Liz, it's gone now, so there's no need for me to go to the Bishop Ford anymore.
Thanks.
I'll wait for another one.
All right, let me.
But
all right, so here it is, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the dollar store, and there's her son right there.
Yeah, I think I sent you about 4 of them.
Yeah, you did. I was trying to get the dollar store in the background though. Rebuilding Dolton. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh, right there outside the dollar store.
But wait a minute. Okay, never mind.
Go ahead.
Just confused. No, I just confused myself. I was thinking Thornton Township. I'm like, why are there only 2 people running for Thornton Township? But that's not what she's running for. She's running for Dolton.
Dolton, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't be like me. I'm the one that's always messing up.
I'm telling you, it's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. Let me bring this one up. Maybe it's a little bit better for y'all. All right. Let me bring this in. Shout out to them. They trying. Bless their hearts. Got a little glamour shot picture. I see you over there.
Okay, Cassie.
I see you, Cassie. Denasha Lee Harrison. Okay.
All right. We're going to find them signs. And it's only in one place.
Yeah. She gonna have a billboard. Watch. She gonna start a full media blitz on Monday. I'm expecting billboards, yard signs, T-shirts, koozies, dog shirts, the whole 9.
She better get cooking with Frank to draw her up on, and she can put it right on that board where Tiffany had her Greenwood Falls.
There you go. See, there you go. There you go. That's wild. Y'all are wild.
Yeah, I think it was like 10 on that corner. I said she put all of them on one side.
She better look.
Like Tiffany.
You got buy 5 get 5 free. She needs to save them things. Spread them out a little bit.
Yes. So we got some ride-alongs coming on. This will coming this week.
I love it. I want to see some more ride-alongs.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking to see if you. Okay, those are the ones you sent me that I want to show. So,
yes.
Oh, but wait, we got the your boy. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Nate Fields. Shout out to Nate Fields.
Oh, I like his colors.
Yeah, the colors are great.
He dropped by today and put it in the grass.
Yeah. I don't. Oh, matter of fact, early voting does start on Monday. Are y'all ready to vote on Monday? Y'all gonna get out there and vote?
I'm probably not gonna do it
For my
Monday.
birthday.
Ooh,
Shout out. I want you to vote on your birthday.
I'll do it that week.
You said what?
I don't want to do it early, too early, because it'd be crowded. So I try to go later on in the week.
They said it's the Seahawks colors. Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't think about that, but you're right. You're right. But what's wrong with that? Seahawks are pretty good, right?
I like the vibrancy of it.
Yeah, just in contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It was blue
We
and
approve
white.
this message.
It was like a light blue and was it yellow? Green? No, green.
Okay, what do you
Oh no, I was thinking, was it? He told me he went to Thornwood. So I was wondering, is the Thornwood colors?
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a proviso girl.
Yes.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah, I saw your cousin. I did talk to you on the phone. Yeah.
She was
Dr.
actually in Tommy G's video, the second video. She was in there at Jason House's victory party.
Oh,
She went at Tiffany's party.
Tiffany wasn't at Tiffany's party.
Oh man, I walked right into that one. I walked right into that uppercut. How did I do that? How did I do it on my own show? My goodness. You're right. Tiffany went at her own show. Shots fired. Shots fired.
She was on that plane to California that day.
Okay.
It's very possible. It's very possible. No, I like
The
that.
midnight train to Georgia.
Man, get up out of here. Get up out of here. Stay out of Georgia. No, I like that. Doctor said she putting that thing in the trash can. She said, "Go, Cassie."
I wanted tomorrow when I go back, how many is going to still be outside for Cassie?
What you mean?
Her signs in the grass.
Oh,
yeah.
I hope they just keep them out there. Just keep them out there as a memorial to your defeat.
That's true.
As a memorial to your defeat. All right. So as residents in that area, what else? I mean, besides ride-alongs, looking for street signs like that, what's the overall attitude of the actual Thornton and Dolton residents as relates to this election coming up?
You know, I get the feeling, or the scene that comes to mind is the one from The Wiz when they flushed Eveline down the toilet and all their costumes.
I would play it, but I know there's a copyright on that. I know it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Let me see.
They were just happy. Whenever I think of what I know is going to be the result, what I'm praying will be the result, that's what I see. Can you feel a brand new day? Yes.
Wow.
Feel it.
Oh, we get a song from her. We get a song from Chicago Red. Hold on. I know it's a copyright. I know it because I feel like I've seen somebody use this before and get a copyright strike. So I'm not going to do it. But
Barry Gordy is on you.
He on your bumper. But Barry on your bumper. He ain't playing.
Can you play in fast mode where they still copyright you?
Man, let me tell you. Let me tell you what I'm not going to do.
Okay.
Pull that up.
What did Cassie say? You gonna mess around and find out?
Right. I ain't going to mess around and find out, Cassie. Don't worry about me. Crash out. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, it just seems like the people in Dolton, they just going about their regular ways in life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I be trying to go in the stores out that way and try to befriend people and try to ask some questions. And some of them like, who? They don't even know who she is. And they just going as normal people.
So let me ask this question. Do you think that the overall majority of the population knows that they need to get out there and vote on April 1st? Or do you think they think that it was over on, was that February 27th or whenever?
I think they know because They got some. I be driving around, and some people got 5 Jason House signs in their yard.
Okay.
I be his signs are literally still out there. On one block, it was so many. I tried my best, and I didn't do it. So if Tiffany hear this, I did not go down her mama's street. I tried to go around the street.
Don't be driving slow, right?
Right.
Drive down that street.
I sure want to see how many Jason House signs are on that block.
Oh my goodness.
I said, they won't get me.
They ain't gonna get you.
Won't catch you on the Ring cameras.
I don't know. I saw they have. I don't know if it's that time of month, but the police are out in Dolton today. So I said, They look at me. I look at them, nod, and keep going.
Okay.
No, I think that's interesting. So, all right. So, because that's my only concern is that people won't come out and vote because they don't know or they're not aware that they got to come back out and vote on April 1st. So if you're saying that it is pretty well known that they need to get out and vote, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Hopefully. She said, you are a smart cookie.
Let's just say this. If the same people that voted for House this last election come out and vote again, Cassie ain't winning. Because I don't think Cassie is going to garner 1/10 of what Tiffany got.
That's so sad. Wow. You don't think so? If just what was it, like 44,000 people, 4,400 people voted in that last election? I might need to pull that up.
Was it 4,400?
Let's just say 4,500 for easy math for our discussion. And Jason got like 38, and Tiffany got like 536 or something like that. Wow. And you're saying that you don't even think my girl would even get that.
I was, like I said, I was talking to this guy and just talking to people. And I was like, hey, so you live in Dolton, huh? He's like, yes. He said, who? He said, I said, what about that Cassandra? He said, who is that? Where did she come from? I said, I don't know. I said, I think she came from the west side. He said that she need to go back. He said, me and my sister trying to figure out who is this lady? So they only know her.
As part of the West Side delegation,
West Side,
we are not taking her back.
Y'all are wild, man. Okay, so that is I'm pulling up the and keep in mind that was the Democratic primary. So there are going to be more voters out potentially in this election anyway.
Maybe.
But they got it. I mean, you're at least going to get some more. Okay, so there was 4,505 is the exact amount.
Okay.
All right, so we'll pull this in. Out of 16,000 registered.
Wow.
Okay, so
registered Democrats or just registered voters?
It says registered voters. So I'm going to assume, 16,506 registered voters. That's all of them. Independents, Republicans, Democrats. Total votes, 4,490. I don't understand how you got more ballots cast, though. You got 15 more ballots cast. I don't even want to, I'm just going to pretend like I don't even see that. Like, wait. Why is that number not the same? How do you get like 15 more ballots than you had votes? Am I tripping? Do you see that? Okay, that's some of that Chicago. See, that's what y'all be doing up there, man.
Hey.
That's some of y'all Chicago folk up there, man. Why y'all be doing that stuff? Okay, that's so much better. Okay, so you're saying that if let's just say 4,500 people vote on April 1st, you don't even think Cassandra would get 542?
No.
Wow.
If she gets 1%,
you said a 10th. You said a 10th of that. So you're saying she wouldn't. So you're saying less than 100 votes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't seen more than 10 people say anything good about her. So I might be overshooting with 50.
Wow.
And I haven't seen any signs in anyone's actual yard. of hers, just on the.
Oh, that's right. That was on the
Family
main
Dollar.
strip.
Mm-hmm.
That was outside Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Family Dollar mayoral candidate. So, okay, so nobody's stepping up saying, hey, I support Cassie in my yard.
She better go stand in front of Greenwood Liquors and AutoZone.
Girl, you're out of control.
Oh.
Get in the zone. Let's get in the zone.
Go to Food for Less. Catch all those people at Food for Less.
I can't stand you.
And now she need to go to Wilma's. That's where the traffic at.
Now you're right about Wilma's.
Wilma's barbecue.
What's Wilma's? What is this? What's Wilma's barbecue?
That's the spot.
Yeah, they got good turkey tips. I love that.
They
go out quick.
Mm-hmm. Then they're turkey links. Mm-hmm. Real good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down the street from St. Patrick's.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Right on.
All right. All right. Now, only in the daytime.
Yeah. Only
they serve breakfast because I want to get out there before the people. Before the people get out there. Say again. I have barbecue for breakfast. That's fine. We got to roll early. Can't be here with it messing around after the sun go down because y'all don't. Yeah, I ain't mess with y'all.
You can roll around. You just just keep your hand on the swivel.
Right, but look.
That's anywhere.
I'm sorry, not in these YouTube suburbs. I don't be looking on my shoulder in the YouTube suburbs. That's wild. Okay, so we're saying in the chat real quick, what is going to be the percentage that Lady Hobson Jordan gets in the chat? Be as frugal as you want to be. What is going to be the percentage of votes that she gets in this election? What will be that percentage? Let me go and put my number in there because I told y'all what I thought she was going to get.
What did you say?
I said she was going to get 3%. Mike says 4.
Sherry said 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going because I said 3 before. Lord have mercy. What is that number? What is that number? Does she owe some? Like, what is she? She gonna owe some votes? Like
she taking votes from another place,
right? She done did some Uno reverse votes, man. What in the world is that? Okay. Was it Staxy? That's when you playing Staxy. Right. You playing Uno? Like, good gracious, you got negative 22, 3%.
1% impossible.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. I have no hope greater than 3%. That's all I'm giving her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
that's being gracious.
Yeah, because like, what's 3% of 4,500?
And 1% is 45.
Yeah, 3% of 4,500. So if I got 4,500 votes,
1% would be 4.5, right?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's
4,000.
10% would be 45.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, you're right.
Well, no, 10% would be 450.
That's too much.
Right. So then I said 3%, so that'd be 135.
That's still too much.
Yeah, that's way too much. Yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's gonna be 1%.
Yeah.
I just can't see it any other way.
Well, if her church members vote, that's 2 people right there.
Girl, bye. I can't stand you.
You think they live in Dolton?
Right. There's that. You got that problem. That's a problem too.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Tell her keep knocking on them abandos and maybe one of the spirits to go vote.
There you go.
Squatters rules.
Mm-hmm.
That is so wild.
Better make sure those squatters are registered.
So yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting. I am very much looking forward to seeing how this pans out.
Yeah,
April 1st. April 1st can come on, get on over here. Get on over here, April 1st.
I can't wait.
Because I think we all are like, I think we all just want to watch to see what the final result is.
Absolutely.
And I'm just checking real quick, make sure. What you about to say, D-Love?
I was reading Sherry Hatcher. You know Harry Hatcher, Brittany, she got all the tea for you, baby.
Yeah, what's up, Sherry? During early voting, we reminded people to come back out for the April 1st election. Shout out to you, Sherry. Now, Sherry, you're welcome to come up in here because I've been told I need to connect with you anyway. So, Sherry, I'm going to drop the link if you would like to. If you have your bonnet off and you want to hang out with us, you can. Come on in the room. Now, Sherry's the only person that's not Chicago Red's cousin. So please come on up in the chat. I dropped the link in the chat.
I don't know. We kind of look alike.
Girl, you're out of control. I dropped the link if you have time, Sherry Brings. I know
Sherry
people have told me to
my
connect with you.
nickname. That's what my mother calls me, Sherry.
Well, there we go. So now she's your twin. There we go. It's a real thing.
My twin.
Y'all wild. But okay, yeah. So I just hope that people do. So shout out to Sherry Hatcher Britton. I do hope that people do remember, like, okay, sure, we voted for the primary, but the general election's April 1st, and I need to get myself back out here. Because I mean, I see it sometimes. There's been special elections here in my neighborhood, and I have to admit, I did not. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn your camera on if you would like to. We will allow you to violate one of my rules, which is you got to have your camera on. So if you would want to, you don't have. You're welcome to. But yeah,
Come on,
so that's
Sherry.
But no, that's cool that Sherry's in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you to 372 of y'all. It was almost at 4 and some change earlier. Thank y'all. So please make sure you hit that like button. Jump on into the best live chat on the internet. We appreciate y'all.
In the words of Cooking with Frank, hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Hey, don't be coming up in here quoting Frank up in here. Come on now. Now Frank need to come on. Frank need to roll on through.
So I can hear him say, hit that subscribe.
I love him. I love it.
Yeah, he's funny.
All right. So what are your predictions now? Again, early voting starts on Monday. What's your prediction between now and Monday? We get a blitz from Cassie. What are we thinking? We'll start with Dolton, and then we're going to talk about Thornton. What do you think?
She might just pull a Tiffany and just
phone it in. You think she's gonna phone? Oh, you think? Oh, you think she'll come out with a rap? You think she'll come out with a rap song?
You know, I mean, she's a chef. She's a pastor. What else does she do? She juggles bowling balls on Sunday.
There you go.
Don't forget, she flip houses with a tool belt.
She do something for sure.
Flips houses on BET.
Wow, flipping with Cassie. Okay, let me ask y'all this because y'all live in the township. Do y'all see Napoleon actually campaigning at all?
Not one.
No.
Look at their faces.
Didn't even tell you what he looked like.
To be honest,
I probably stood next to him in Jewel. And
girl can't stand you. You said in Jewel.
You think he'll go to Jules? He don't even seem like that type of person.
No, he's probably not. He's probably
not going to a whole.
No, he's a
Mariano's.
Mariano's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And maybe Trader Joe's.
Yeah, wow.
That too. His wife probably goes. I don't think he goes to the people, the common folks.
Now, if you stood next to somebody with eyelashes like this, though, what would you do?
Why are you like this?
What would you do? What would you do? This person comes up to you with these eyelashes. What would you do?
Stop watching my eyes.
Why is this a thing?
That is creeping me out. I don't know why.
Oh, it should, and rightly so.
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What's going on, Sherry? How are you?
Hey there.
How are you doing today?
I am great. You guys have me cracking up.
Look, this is
look at you guys and I crack up. I love it. I love it.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. This is the adult supervision hour. This is where we're just talking. We clearly needed an adult in the room. So thank you so much, Sherry, for being here to keep us straight.
I try. Sometimes I'm not an adult either.
Well, as long as one of us is at the current moment, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Asylum.
All right. So Sherry Britton, if you don't mind, just in case, we have a lot of undocumented Dolton and Thornton Township residents in the chat. Can you please just tell us a little bit about who you are and why it is that you jumped on tonight? Why did I want you to come on tonight?
Well, you know what? I am a 26-year resident of Dolton.
Okay.
And I guess, I didn't start off trying to be an advocate or any of that. We just saw from the day one that Tiffany was a nut job and we just needed to get her reeled back in. We tried that. And when it didn't work, we tried the recall. And she is a recalled mayor. Let me just make that point very clear.
Mm-hmm.
She is a recalled mayor, but Miss Joy Cunningham, the judge, decided that, it wasn't fair or legal, which, we did what we had to do. It was a time crunch, and we put both questions on the referendum
Mm-hmm.
because it was either do that or do nothing. So we knew it was a risk, but we just wanted to try something.
Got it.
But basically, it's just I supported Tiffany in the beginning. I did. I mean, as the lesser of two evils. Clearly, we know, and I know that was a mistake. So,
Can I ask you a question about that? Because a lot of people are making hay that you all started out as Tiffany supporters. Jason and Kiana and Ed Steve, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Is there? I feel like it's perfectly fine for you to grow and mature. For you to say, you know what, I think this is, Brussels sprouts are terrible. Now I can't get enough of Brussels sprouts. It's okay to make changes in your life. Right. Can you speak to how you decided, how you transitioned from Team Tiffany to Team, we got to fix this. This is broken.
Sure. So initially, I personally, and I can say a lot of other people also wanted Jason House to run for mayor in 2021 for his own personal reasons. He was not ready. We always thought he would be a good fit for mayor. He wasn't ready. And, we looked into everybody. I even asked Valerie Stubbs. I asked Mary Avant. I talked to several people saying, hey, why don't you guys run? But again, they weren't ready. So Tiffany jumped out and she just decided she was going to run. I do know that Valerie Stubbs said, hey, you're not ready. But she wanted to run. And so Jason and Kiana and Kevin Bowens and Allison Key, they were all good, upstanding people. So we decided that we would help her.
Got it.
We wanted to help her. We thought we could. We knew that she was a little bit, what can I say? Just a little bit different.
Unpolished.
Unpolished. That's a good word. That's the best word.
That's the word I would use.
What I was going to come up with, but we thought that she would at least listen because she did pretend like she was listening in the beginning, and even though she was a little unpolished, she did at some point seem to want to help the community. Like her first violence march she had in 2019. I went door to door with her with former trustee Dwayne Muhammad to give out her flyers. She was excited about it. She just is a little ghetto. I mean, but that's, we can't punish people for that.
Okay, that's fair.
And criminal and all this craziness. I did one of the very first FOIAs that showed the criminal side when they were doctoring invoices for hotel stays. So I've been doing this since April of 2021. We knew then. We knew when she won the primary, we knew at least we were going to have to try and reel her in. It was so funny because I talked to Jason. I said, y'all have to take her powers right now. They was like, Sherry, you can't do that. Give the girl, she hadn't even been in office. You can't do that. I was like, okay. But again, I do understand why they couldn't do it that day. Then we had a lot of pushback because it's like, oh, you guys are beating up a single woman or a single black woman. Or listen, Dolton is 90-some% black. I mean, it's a mostly Democratic town. Nobody voted for Tiffany because she was a black woman. They need to stop that. We voted for her because we thought that she was going to be a team player. She ran on transparency. We used to do tea with the trustees. We used to do that online during COVID when she was running. And so we had all these plans as a community And,
Mhm.
and on day one, and I heard it
She said day
myself.
one.
The very first meeting she had, she said there's going to be some changes, and then she went and she changed citizens address to public
Says
comment.
public comment.
So we knew, and then when she had, there's a guy, Marquis Son, he was her campaign manager he was in Dallas, but he was doing everything remotely for her.
No, not okay.
She lied on him and said she did not know him and that he was a stalker. So that could have gotten him in trouble. She's an elected official. And when she did that, I was done because he did everything in his power to help her. But he did quit right before the primary, a couple of days before, because he said, Sherry, she's not going to do the right thing. And I said, well, what do we do? Because we were all working together.
For
He
sure.
said, unfortunately, she's going to win this race. And you guys are just going to have to do everything in your power to keep her on a leash.
Wow.
And it didn't work. She has supporters, and she has a lot of, well, not now. She really doesn't have as much as she used to have. Like, even with the police department, those guys, they are not thinking about Tiffany, and they're not helping her. She's got Kamal now, and she barely got Dot. But she really doesn't have any support now. So, and she knows it, but she'll never try to save face. She'll go on camera until the end. She'll act a fool until she gets those handcuffs on her.
So you said she has a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at the results of the election, argument is that she has about 530 30 people in Dolton.
I should correct myself. I should have said had.
What happened to him? That's what I was going to ask. Like, did she have? Are you saying she had more than that?
I think she might have had a little more than that. I mean, and then when you add people from the township, and I will say this: those bingo people, those are not Dolton people. Those are mostly South Holland and Calumet City people. They're not
Okay.
Dolton. She doesn't have a ton of Dolton people, and a lot of the people, like, you know, they're getting it now with all the exposure. And I got to give it to the social media YouTubers, because you guys did us justice when the news wouldn't. Those 3 and 2 minute segments on the news. Listen, I was on Fox News in New York, the New York Post. I talked to the New York Post. I talked to all types of people from all around the country, but nothing like the YouTube and the social media. You guys have really did us justice. You know, platforms like yourself, not all.
Praise God. Thank you.
You know, so we need to thank you guys, you know, for helping us, because it wasn't easy. And people, I don't like them to, you know, give me praise for doing this. And they'll say, oh, you started this. Well, no, I started calling YouTubers. That's what I did. I reached out to Edgar County Watchdogs. I reached out to Pink Book Lessons, Hannibal is Hungry, Shawan Burns, you know, people like that in the beginning. And then Jedediah came on to help us. And then we all in the queue, and then yourself, you know, and there's several others, you know. We even got homegrown people now that are helping us. So, you know, we really appreciate that.
No, that was great. Thank you so much. I'm glad that the YouTubian nation was able to jump out here and take part in this. And I agree with Peach right here. New media rocks. Absolutely. All right. What do you think about? Okay. Do you mind giving me your opinions on Cassandra Hobson Jordan? The one I affectionately call Crash Out Cassie. What is your overall opinion of her? And then I want to ask you about when she's saying things about who's committing these crimes or whatnot, or infractions. What do you think about her?
So I think that she is a mental case, honestly, and I say that, and I'm not trying to be funny, but she don't want this over here. I was looking for, because I've been on a social media break as far as like Facebook and stuff. I haven't been in politics or anything like that. But she is a troll. She says everybody else is a troll, but she's a troll. I was on Martin G's live. We were doing a live, and then she came on the live, and she was trying to pretend like she wasn't who she was. I knew her voice, and she was talking crazy. And I said, well, if we're not voting for Tiffany and we're not voting for Jason, are you running? And she got quiet. We asked her, did you vote? And I had Martin. I sent him her voting record. She ain't voted in Dolton. She hasn't even voted in Dolton. So why do you think you should be the mayor of Dolton and you've never voted in Dolton? And then if you listen to her interview with Regina,
Are you about to say it? Go ahead and say it. Please say it.
she said when Regina asked her how long has she been thinking about running for mayor in Dalton, she said, well, I was going to run. It was either going to be Harvey or Dalton.
Yep.
Hey, dumb. Do you realize you have to live where you run for office?
Maybe she has 2 houses. You know, she'd be flipping her houses.
You have to live where you registered to vote. She ain't voted. She didn't even vote in the last election. We put it up on the screen, and she was lying the whole time. She wasn't even paying attention. It was on the screen, and she was lying. Then she went to a party, a stepper set, as we call them here. And she went to a stepper set with her camera, pretending that it was a fundraiser for herself. And people were saying, we don't even live in Dolton.
Right.
How crazy is that? It's a form of mild retardation, in my opinion.
Oh, don't hold anything back. Let us know how you really feel. No, okay. So if you were able to speak with Red and D Love, if y'all want to jump in, please feel free. If you felt like you could give Cassandra some sisterly advice or direction, guidance, whatnot like that, what would you tell her?
Okay, so I don't know if I could really tell her anything. She's a couple years younger than me, but I would tell her, why waste your time? You know, jump on. If you really cared about the community, you would jump on and help out the Clean House team instead of trying to run against and talk crazy. Because clearly, I mean, she says she's been here 17 years. You know what? I promise you, I've missed 2 tea with the trustees, and that's when my bonus son got married, and I was sick. Every single tea with the trustees, I've been there. Board meetings, I haven't gone as much in the last few months, but I'm always diligent on, watching them and all that stuff, doing work and all that. I've never seen her in my 26 years of being here, and her 16 or 17 years.
17,
never seen her. The first time I saw her, she showed up at a tea with the trustees, maybe the month before Lori Lightfoot did her first report. And she only came to 1, maybe 2. I'm not sure. She was at both Lori Lightfoot reports and maybe one or 2 board meetings. So
I think it's fair to say, like, a regular, because if you're going to be mayor, you're going to have to come to the meetings. Like, you can't phone those in, so you're going to have to be here at the meeting. You might as well get used to it, get comfortable. You don't need to have a new employee walk around day. You should already kind of know what's going on.
How about you should know what you're doing, and you should know the rules of what the mayor does and even what the trustees do. But how about you are going off on the board, and remember, those are the people that you have to work with. You're not, if let's say she did, for kicks and giggles, she did win, which we know that's not gonna happen. I said 3% like you did, but I'm not necessarily.
Yeah, I'm going back. I might have to give a discount.
Right, me too.
I might be on discount.
But there are some weirdos out there, because I'm not totally convinced one way or the other that she's a plant. I know a lot of people think she is. I know that I do believe that there was some talks with Tiffany, and I think it was through Denasha Harrison, because he definitely was with Tiffany in the beginning. Because myself and Chief Collins' wife, we were behind him leaving the Lori Lightfoot first report, and he was talking on the phone, and he said it. He was like, I don't know if I can run with her.
Wow.
See? Yep, we heard it. Yep, sure did.
He didn't know if he could run with Tiffany or Cassandra.
Tiffany.
Okay.
So I've done a review of Denasha Harrison. I don't think anything ill about the gentleman. I do believe I think he's genuine. Why do you think he hooked his horse to her and not like the Republican candidate, the Republican team? They got a full slate. Why do you think he hooked himself up with her? Because if she wins, they're going to still end up having to work with the people that just been bad mouthing for the last 2-3 months. Why do you think he chose her over anything else?
Because I don't think he is as genuine as you might think. You know, and it's fair to say that because he's mild. Sometimes he talks like he's not nuts like she is. But again, why would he work with her when she is totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puff?
Wow.
I mean, that makes no sense. And then he won't denounce the things that she's doing. Some of the crazy things that she's doing, he will not denounce it. Now, she's flying off the handle, being ignorant. You know, she's got 9,000 aliases. I mean, come on now.
She does have a lot of aliases.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what it is?
Who are you, Cassandra McBride?
She's got a lot of club names. That's all. She just, when she go to the club, she got to give different names at the club.
Mm-hmm.
So, and spell them differently.
Right. And I don't know. I don't know why he.
I don't say Sherry. First of all, Sherry, you look good. I didn't know you was that old. If she younger, I said, I didn't take you to be there.
She's 55. I'll be 57 in August.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me?
What is your diet?
Yeah, we might need to turn this into something else here.
Okay.
Wait, are you for real?
Listen, I'm on a diet. That my pictures I got a little makeup on and stuff, honey. Come on now.
But even in real life, you look good.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you're supposed to look crazy when you get older, but you know what we're saying.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Basically, all compliments to your regime, whatever you do.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you.
I thought it was kind of weird that he said he came from the west side to run in Dolton. Like he's come to save Dolton. And originally he said he was running for mayor. Now he's
I think I missed that one.
Yeah, so I don't know. He might have said that. I was at the first meeting when he announced himself. He said that he had been living in Dolton for a year and that he was going to run for trustee. I saw that, and he probably did because you can't hear and see everything. But I'm with you. I don't understand that. Why not just help out? Why even the people that support Tiffany, at this point she's not going to be in there. Cassandra's not going to be in there. Why not just come on over and try to work with Clean House? And if it's something you feel like they're not doing, hold them to the fire about it. Because I have talked to Jason, and I have always said, if you start acting like her, we're going to fist fight.
Fist fight? Will it be pay-per-view? Will it be pay-per-view?
Listen,
that's all I want to know.
We can stream it on your show.
Please.
I'm ready. But again, why try to come up with all this crazy stuff that actually is hurting the residents? People, if you really live here and you really love the community and you really don't want to leave, why not just do what's right? Come on, it makes no sense. Tiffany did a whole rap video. She looked like a whole fool.
Not a whole fool, not a half fool.
A whole fool. A 360 fool.
Hey Sherry, I have a question for you. What do you? I know you have an inside scoop. If you could share, if so, now I understand. What do you do with the Just Ice?
What are my thoughts on Just Ice?
Yes. What is the plan? If you know about what are they going to do with that after Jason House get into office?
So I don't know what they're going to do. I hope they sell it because it needs to be just gone. At this
not
point,
just gone. Oh no.
We don't need it. I mean, because it's not going to be used. Nobody's going to be in the middle of Greenwood ice skating. No, it's just not going to happen. She told a lie and said that it was open to the public. It's not. And if she doesn't like you, you definitely can't come across on that Just Ice. So no, it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. There is nothing we can do with it. Just I say sell it or sell it, make arrangements to sell it to the park district and let them do something with it.
Do you all have anything like a food truck park or anything like that?
We do not. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, I can be corrected. I think we don't have, you can't, food trucks aren't allowed in Dolton right now. I mean, like if they had like
really?
a
Darn it.
special event, like a special event at the park
For
district,
sure.
I believe they could come up and do something like that. But just to be on the move in Dolton, and that may be something they can change. I mean, it just needs to go before. Well, now we'll have cow meetings again. So, and then we'll have committee meetings. So things will come from the committee meetings, which each trustee will have be over like the committees
For sure.
of like police and fire and things of that nature. Then they can take what from their committees, they can take it to a cow meeting and discuss it with the residents. The residents can come to the committee meetings as well as the cow meetings if they really want to know what's going on and be a part of it. And then it could go for the, to a voting meeting if whatever they decide to do.
Gotcha. Okay. So would it be easier in your mind, just ice skating rink, sell it, turn it into a food truck park, something that revenue generating, or just get rid of it? What would you say, in your opinion, Britton?
I say my first thing would be to sell it, because whoever you sell it to will have plans to do something with it, and they'll be responsible for the taxes, and and it could go back on the tax roll. But what you just said, and I never thought about it, a food truck park or something like that, that would be nice, to do something with it as well. But just for me, and because we are in so much debt and we really have to rebuild from the ashes, I say sell it. But
Okay.
again, that is something, another thing that they can think about. That's an awesome idea, in my opinion. Never thought about it.
Okay.
As long as Tiffany keeps her gross burgers out of the food truck park.
Well, you know what? No, people, you know what? It's the marketplace. It's the
Somebody
marketplace.
want them nasty burgers.
Then the market will speak. I'll let the market speak.
So,
And
but Good Burger was dissolved.
yeah. So, but even if she tried to start it back
have
up,
anything to do with it.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. All right. So
If you don't follow rules,
right.
So, Britton, I thank you so much, because I really I'm hoping and praying that I can get some other young people on here to talk about what their plans are once they become mayor on April 1st. We hopefully. But what would you say would be maybe the first three things that you would say Team House needs to do on day one?
I would say on day one, go into every department and apologize to everybody that works there that's doing their jobs, and let them know it's going to be okay, and offer them some counseling. That should be the first thing that they should do. The second thing they should do is remove everything, all the posters, and sign everything with her face on it.
And name.
And name, and change the locks on everything. I mean, so give the people who have to help make things move forward, give them a sense of security. Get rid of everybody who was helping her steal or whatever she was doing. That's it. That's what you have to do. And then let the community know what you're doing. So those would be my first.
Okay.
Have a bond party.
That too.
All right, so
they're going to cover some stuff. They're going to uncover a lot once they get in there and she's gone. They're going to uncover some stuff.
All right, so we got to get we got to work on this debt situation, and I have no idea fully. I'm sure they probably don't either how much debt they're actually in.
I think they know. I think that Freeman is telling them, or has really, I think they had a handle on it before, because they were kind of keeping up with things. And even though they knew, they were keeping track of things, I'll say that, because that's how we knew how many checks were in the drawer.
Okay.
Because they're keeping up with it. And Jason and Kiana, they don't play about finances. So they know it was just Tiffany kept yelling and screaming over them. They're not paying the bills. They're not paying the bills, which we know was a lie. I do think that people, like all this money she was saying that she got grant money and this and that and the third. Springfield is not stupid, although they're not. It looks like they're not doing anything about her. I believe that they are really gonna, once she's gone, they'll be at Clean House's disposal, to a certain degree. They know that they got to help us. We know that what we have to do. We know that there's going to have to be some extreme measures to get us back where we need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have a good handle on it, and I think that people are just waiting on her to leave. Now I've heard of some opportunities that businesses in Dolton have actually received, but they won't do anything as long as she's there. So, and now
Okay.
she's gone. So I mean, even the employees. I mean, I know you guys saw the Tommy G's video yesterday. I mean, you got people smiling. You see, they were employees walking up. They came to clean houses. I was there, of course, and it was about, I want to say 20 employees there.
Wow.
Yeah. Police officers coming up to hug him. It's going to be okay. And now it's not going to be a quick fix. I'm even saying it's going to take a term, more than a term, but who am I?
Okay. All right. Shout out to Lady Luck Club has jumped into the panel as well. Shout out to you.
LLC. Right. How you
There we go.
doing?
As always, Lady Luck Club. She's earning that other L. The late Lady Luck Club.
I told him I had to work.
I don't even know what you're talking about. New phone. Who's this? New phone. Who's this? New phone.
How you doing? How you doing, Deacon? How you doing? Praise the Lord, church. Praise the Lord, everybody.
We up in here. We up in here. Okay.
I hope you all enjoyed the video because Tommy G is phenomenal, and I knew he was going to handle the business. He slam dunked it.
That was very good. We enjoyed that. That was a lot.
I was asking. I sent him a text. I was like, "When are you dropping the video?"
You gotta tell him I said I wanted to react to his video. I just want to get his permission on it, but since everybody already doing it, but yeah, tell him I said, "What's up?"
Look, I was like, and when he said 5:00, y'all know I was the second person to view it.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was really
I knew
good.
It was coming. Yeah, I knew it was coming because he said after the first one, like, "I will be back," and it was, it's just he's just proof that they're even outside looking in. It's not hard to see all the things that she's doing. It's like you either are blind, you don't read, or you just tapped out in la la land if you can't see how bad she is and the nonsense she's put up and the destruction she's caused in 4 years. And there is no excuse for it. She did it on her own. No one forced her to do the stuff she did. No one put a gun to her head. She made these decisions and these choices. And I always have to, remind people when they want to talk about the trustees. The trustees does not have a direct criminal contempt of court charge either. So that's proof that she goes and go rogue on her own many a times.
Absolutely. But that's what I say all the time. Like they'll say, but the trustees should, and that's what Denasha and Cassandra keep saying, what the trustees should have did. And my question to them is how? They are not, they've taken her to court. I mean, they could snatch her by her hair and try to get her to do something, but that's not legal. They have to do things legally and in order. They can't make it. Tiffany has said it. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. In fact, at a board meeting, she said, "Watch me."
Watch me.
Like that.
Sure did.
She said, and she is, and she meant that. She said, and then she did a interview with, what was it? It wasn't Essence. I can't remember who it was. Was it Black Enterprise? She said it's more than one way to skin a cat. When you don't give her what she wants, that's what she's just going to do it, and she's going to do it anyway. And I think people struggle with or her title. I'm the mayor. So they don't know when she says, okay, let's do it. And then the person just says, okay, I'm going to do it, because they've never seen anybody this rogue. I've never seen anything like it. I mean,
Exactly.
never. And I voted I did my first vote in 1986, and I have never regretted a vote. She is the first vote I regretted in my life.
Wow.
Yeah. And many people have said that. I mean, and the trustees have even said, we regret the support. If it got to a point where they decided to put their support behind someone over the former mayor, they made the choice and they regretted it. It's like, when do they get the grace to say, we tried to rectify this? We took this girl to court and there was a misstep with the voting process. We tried to do what we can. We've tried to stop her on so many levels. They got her off the bank account. They did what they could do through the courts, and they try their best. And it's like, when do they get the grace?
Right. Because
Everybody's willing to give her to say, hey, they did try to put measures in place to remove her, to have her recalled. They did do all of that. And and people are still sitting here saying, oh, well, it's their fault. No, it's not. Let's be grown about this. She makes decisions like a grown adult, even though she has the mind of a petulant child. And at the end of the day, she should be held accountable for the things that she has done. And I've gone over several court documents and videos where I'm sitting here telling people the judges have already determined certain laws that she has even broken that are in court documents. What are we doing? So it gets to a point where it's like, okay, those who want to continue on with that, like, Cassandra, I don't even know. I think Danash needs to really just rethink his connection with her. But just going on this tangent about that, they don't want to read the court documents that have said, here are laws that she's broken, or the fact that she made an agreement for Jason House to be on the bank account and for her to be removed off, or that she was at Thornton Township crying, talking about, don't give me credit cards, don't give them to me, even though she had already misused some. And never provided invoices or receipts for them. Things that you naturally would do in finance. So these are the things that she chose not to do. It's put the blame where it belongs. Stop blaming trustees for her actions and for the things that she did on her own. Case in point, the court. That charge for contempt, she's going to have to answer to that judge by herself. No trustee will go in there and speak on her behalf, because they were not charged with direct criminal contempt of court. She was.
Exactly.
There you go.
I've had this same debate with people on and off of Facebook regarding the trustees of Dolton and how they ran on the ticket with Tiffany. And their whole point was, well, they ran with her, so they must have been with her at one point. I said, yeah. And there are couples that have been together for a long time because they saw something in that person in the beginning that aligned with who they were in that moment. And then once they got married, the change came, and people flipped. And you can't determine. I mean, I don't know if anybody else watches Snap, but Snap has me in a place where I don't really trust people anymore. I don't know when you're going to snap or change on me, because it happens. People change every day. So just because I'm in alignment with you here, doesn't mean that at some point you or me can't switch. So as you were saying, Lady Luck and Sherry, you have to give people grace and allow them the space to say, you know what, when I made that decision initially, I thought I was making the right decision, but now I see later it wasn't the right decision, and I'm trying to change it. And I was telling them, they've gone through all of the channels to try to rectify it.
Right.
What do you want them to do?
Well, they don't want to hear that, though. People do not want to hear that. Now, I don't take it, and I refuse to take responsibility for her actions. I'm not doing that. I mean, because like you said, we're all adults. So if I decide to be a criminal, that's on me. She decided to be a criminal, and those RICO charges are coming. What people don't understand is the feds, they work slow and steady. They work slow and steady. And again, when they visited my house on Valentine's Day, 2024, that's what they told me.
Yeah.
Work slow and steady.
Yep.
And everybody, they had to interview hundreds of people. So you got everybody that works at the township, you got everybody that works at Dolton, or most people, and then you have vendors, and then you have residents and constituents, you have business owners. All these people have to be interviewed so that they can make sure every charge, and I'm thinking at least 20. What you think? You know, so again, all that stuff is a process, and I don't think they were. You know, include myself. We all were in a rush for them to pick her up right then and there. But then it's like, okay, if we pick her up now, we don't have everything, and I think they need to get every single thing because she needs to be held accountable for everything that she has done. Residents have been threatened. You know, people, I mean, you know, trustees didn't say much, but listen, they've been threatened too. I mean, I was threatened online, and then Hannibal did he did a live about it, and a man from Colorado started calling all of the state representatives. That's how the FBI ended up at my house.
Hey, shout out to Hannibal. Shout out to Hannibal.
They came to my house, and I was laughing because I was on the phone. Full disclosure, I used to work for the Dolton Fire Department. So I was talking to, at the time he was still the chief, McCain, and we were laughing. And I said, it's a gray truck in front of my house with smoke windows. And then we laughed and said, it's probably the feds. Ha, ha, ha. I did not see them walk up to the door. They did not ring the bell. They knocked on the door. Okay. I opened the door, 2 agents with their badges. I was like, well, come on in. Okay. I didn't know why they were there.
Wow.
Yep. That's why they were there, because her food pantry man threatened to take my family out on social media.
See,
Wow.
Nonsense.
Can I say
all
this?
that stuff they do, that they know it when it comes down to it. When she stands before the judge, she's not going to be able to blame the trustees for a darn thing. So it won't matter at the end of the day. It's like people say that they're just throwing up smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say one of the things that I always think about when it comes to the FBI and Tiffany, they probably could have had this case locked a long time ago. The problem is Tiffany keeps talking,
right?
And the more she talks, the longer they wait, because she just keeps saying things and saying things and saying things. I'm just like, who's talking to her? Can somebody tell her? It was like R. Kelly on Gayle King's show.
Oh yeah,
that's her every day.
But people were really still going before the grand jury. People were really still going before the grand jury just a few months ago. Honestly,
Wow,
they were.
Have you gone to the grand jury?
Me?
Yes.
Have I? Oh,
yes.
No. But if and when I do, I would never say anything until after. You know what I mean? Until after it comes out public, because you're not supposed to.
Right.
But again, I'm just a resident, and I've just been doing the work. So I have talked to a lot of people, and I might say something to you guys offline about that. But it's very interesting. I mean, it's like a movie. I'm trying to find. I want Jennifer Hudson to play me in the movie.
Oh, okay. We're putting a request now. Okay, all right.
Oh man,
that'll be epic.
Make sure you
that'll be epic.
Sherry, make sure you email management.
One thing about the feds, and I said this, I was debating somebody about R. Kelly. I said, one thing about the feds, when they come for you, your good is in jail. They don't come for you unless they know that they can put you in jail.
So I heard that she knows that she's going.
Oh,
Oh, really?
she needs to know, but she doesn't act like she knows.
Right. That's true.
Because
Sherry, where is
if I thought when the IRS was looking for me for some back taxes, I was
Look, I'd have been crying too.
I'm crying for you.
Well,
Right.
she got people that don't tell her the truth. So, you still got people running around here talking about, well, if they ain't got it by now, they not going to get it because they don't know how the FBI operates.
Right. And how
they
do
better
It's like,
find
they
just
out.
do it? It's
Google
rare.
it. They have an outline of how they do investigations
Yeah.
online.
She
But
knows that they coming to get her, and she knows it's more than her. I was told it's probably a Rico, so I'm just gonna say allegedly it's a
Yeah,
Rico.
that would
She
be under Rico.
knows.
It's
I'm
three
telling
people I
you,
don't play with:
it's
the
a lot of
IRS, the
people.
FBI, and my mama.
It's a whole lot of people. It's a lot of stuff going on in Dolton. They know. Everybody knows what's going on, include Tiffany. But again, she's never gonna be on social media doing anything but what she's doing until they put the cuffs on her. She will never be humble. Jail is not gonna humble her. When she is in jail, she is gonna be doing a dateline or a nightline from the prison and still talking about they lied on me.
She's gonna rob Blagojevich the whole thing until the end.
The very end.
Wow.
The
Sherry,
very
does she live in Dolton?
when she ran for mayor, she did live in her mother's house.
Okay.
That is for sure she did. From my understanding, they moved around a couple of times. They lived in Tinley Park. So the house that she was in, that she was not paying the rent, she wasn't there. She had moved out of that house long before it came out. So
Okay.
I'm not saying that she didn't still have the lease or whatever she was doing, but she wasn't living there. She was living in Tinley Park. Then they said she lived above the car wash. I believe it was true, but that's right by my house. If I could walk to the corner and see the car wash.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm not too far from it. I'll say that. And then I heard that she moved somewhere else because I think people started, saying, "Oh, they live at the car wash. They live at the car wash."
That gate's not closed
Car wash.
anymore.
That car wash is so funny, man.
But you know what? That car wash was not getting a water bill. They straight piped the water, so they're not even paying a water bill. And before they straight piped it, he was paying what a resident would pay, like a residential bill. So he was averaging maybe $138 to $150 every 3 months for a water bill for a car wash.
Wow.
Make it make sense.
And that car
Sherry,
wash
I
stay
they pay
packed in the
rent.
summertime.
They probably don't pay rent.
Sherry, so
The building is filled. I'm sorry.
So the water bill, so your water bill come out every 3 months, not every month?
No, it's not. No, it's not monthly. It's quarterly.
Oh, see, in Harvey it's every month.
Famous out Harvey.
So no matter what they do, they just need to get it together because the billing is, we don't overpay for consumption. So in fact, if your water bill was correct, Dalton would be really smooth sailing because on average it's about $8 per consumption, but we pay $5.60. We haven't had a raise in the consumption. I don't remember there being a raise since I've been here. So, and then the businesses businesses pay less per consumption than the average resident in the South Cook County because they pay like $7.50 per consumption. And so we're losing money because if you go to other towns, they pay $15, $20 per consumption for water businesses.
Oh, wow.
And you still owe that water bill to Chicago. So how do you pay that if you still...
Now, from my understanding, and I could be corrected, if we're not paying the water bill to Chicago, that's new because we were set up on a payment plan and they actually have access to our system to make sure that we're paying it. It's $65,000. It was $65,000 a month. I could be corrected if it's changed, but that isn't anything that I've looked at in a while. But from my understanding, it was on an automatic payment to Chicago because 3 trustees went and made a deal to make that happen because the former mayor went and signed to he made his own deal with Chicago and he didn't put it before the board. So
At least they're gonna
we
make it
have
right
3
himself.
right. We have 3 former trustees to go in and make it right. Now, I don't know if it's still right or not. You never know because Tiffany is bankrupting us, so that may have changed. But recently, I know that we were paying it. I don't now in February, January. I can't tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But
Thank
we were
you.
paying. We were paying.
Okay.
We're getting there. We're getting there, you guys. We really are.
Yes, you are.
We just gotta keep moving, and she's out. That's the biggest hurdle. And we'll have plenty more. But Clean House just has to be transparent. If they're transparent and do what they need to do, I mean, people are just gonna have to get on board or move. We can't be here complaining, and then you only have 12 people at the board meeting. So,
Right.
Exactly.
Can you speak on what our friend Cassie Crashout and her drive around town looking at houses? Can you explain to us, like, what is the process? And I'm gonna still ask this question if I ever get to talk to anybody else. But in your opinion, what is the actual process? What are y'all supposed to do with dead buildings? And houses and such like that? What are y'all supposed to do with them?
So there are several things that they need to do. They can work with investors, or they need to just come up with something feasible for either people in the community to buy homes, work with investors, make sure they're boarded up. So that first of all, people have to be safe. So we gotta, if the homes are abandoned and they're open where people can get in them, that's not a good thing. So we just have to chop at it, chop away at it like anything else. Again, that's where those committee meetings and then those cow meetings come in, so we can decide together as a community how we're going to handle that. Again, it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of patience and prayer. And I think that one thing about what we've gone through in Dolton is a lot of people never thought that a small Black community would speak up for themselves, and we did. And that also has brought a lot of attention to us. And there are people, like I said, that are willing to help us, and they'll come to the drawing board with us as long as she's not on board. So again, make them safe, make them feasible, make it feasible for people to buy some properties. Like my husband wants to get a building. He didn't never want to get it in Dalton, but if the incentives are right, you know what I mean?
He might be persuaded.
He might change.
He could be persuaded.
Yeah.
So like my idea would be back to those food truck park. If we took just ice skating rink and turned it into a food truck park, each of course vendor would pay to be there. Let's say you did food truck park, food truck Tuesday and Saturday or something like that. Or dinner, have a movie out there and then have food truck park, whatever, several times a week. And if vendors actually find themselves getting popular and they do want to actually start a brick and mortar restaurant, they might get premium opportunities to buy property or rent property or whatever like that as take your food truck and turn it into an actual brick and mortar building in Dolton, because you've been a part of the food truck Tuesday or food truck Thursday, whatever like that. You almost get grandfathered in and you get some kind of premium to look at buildings and whatnot or find a location. There's just something to think about.
I mean, it sounds great to me, because I'd never thought about that until you said it, and I think that's a great idea, honestly.
I would do those restaurants and build up downtown Dolton.
And that was the point. Like you can get those in there. Do you mind speaking? And can any of y'all speak intelligently on how to revitalize downtown Dolton, because it seemed like that was a sticking point for Cassandra as well. But I'm like, well, what's your plan? Like, she didn't really have a plan. So what? Like,
she doesn't have a plan on a lot of things that you got to start with. First off, the infrastructure, and then you got to then go towards generating revenue. I mean, it has to be attractive for people to want to invest and bring money into wherever. But just pointing out houses, first of all, it's not the mayor's job to rebuild houses. Now, they can focus on a wider issue such as infrastructure, but it is not the mayor's responsibility just to rebuild or renovate a house. That's not it. They have administrators in place that focus on a bigger issue of infrastructure for buildings and making sure that, schools and houses and businesses are up and running. But that's what's delegated to those administrators in those departments that they oversee. So you have these people who are supposed to be in those roles that are experts in that field, right? So they come in and they advise you on, here's where you start. And here's a good point here. We start with Dolton Park District, for example. We make that pretty, have some events there, bring in some revenue, and then expand out. And then we take that money and reinvest it into more infrastructure, make more areas pretty, have more events, bring in more revenue. That should be kind of the thought process with that. Her going to houses that people might be living in, who knows? And then say, oh, well, they're not rebuilding this house. Well, that's not their actual job. It really isn't. It's something they can make an agenda, or you can have a talking point for. But that's not a mayor's role. So what are you doing? You're pointing out something that every city has. She hasn't seen. Let me tell you something. She ain't seen abandoned houses until she's seen some in Atlanta. We got abandoned buildings, okay? We got abandoned factories.
We got abandoned blocks.
We got, yes. I mean, whole areas and warehouses that are abandoned, that even in downtown, that could be used for something great. But even for a city as big as Atlanta, that goes to show it's not the mayor's job. And is it a good talking point? Is it something you can have as a platform? Yes. But how do you plan on getting to that point where these houses are being fixed up or these warehouses are being renovated? You put people in place to help with that. So she running her mouth.
Where they make the mistake too is a lot of times when people say, you guys need to do this, you guys need to do that. How come you haven't done that? That's not necessarily true, because a lot of the things that they think we haven't done, we have done. Just like even with downtown Dolton, it's very small. It's only 2 blocks, first of all. And there was a gentleman, his name is DeAndre Rucker. He purchased quite a bit of property in downtown Dolton, and they had things planned for it. But Tiffany did everything in her power to keep him from moving forward. And not only that, allegedly, they went into one of his buildings and they unscrewed the pipes and they let water run, and they did water damage to the building. So they were doing everything. They wouldn't give him his licenses. They did everything in their power to stop the movement, because she doesn't want anybody to do anything. She wants to have all the property. The same thing she tried to do to Dr. Scott is the same thing she tried to do to St. Patrick and everybody else. And she was successful with it with DeAndre, because, again, the properties that he owns are sitting abandoned and nothing's being done with them. But it's because it's her. We have ordinances in place. She doesn't follow them. We have laws, all of that. She doesn't follow them. She does what she wants to do. And that has been the problem. So as a whole, as a community, we're doing what we need to do. She's stopping us. She's putting her hands, she's pushing on one side and we're pushing on the other side. So that's really what it is. A lot of times people will say, you guys aren't doing it, but we are. We really are.
Yeah. Well, people who say that, they fully don't understand, even the powers that the trustees have and what they can and can't do. And I mean, think about the St. Patrick's place. They had to take this mayor to court. That's nothing to do with the trustees. What were the trustees supposed to do in that situation? And if you ask those same people that keep saying, "Oh, it's part of the trustees' fault as well," explain how. And I want to know, based on their role and responsibilities, how. Go ahead, because I just to hear that over and over again, it gets old really fast, and it comes from people who are very ignorant of the roles and responsibilities between the mayor being the executive branch and the trustees being that legislative branch. So how could they possibly get her to sign license permits when these people, the St. Patrick's, when these business owners, they were the only ones, St. Patrick's were not the only ones that had to take her to court to get something signed, a license permit signed. How is that the fault of the trustees again?
Right.
That's the thing that people can't even explain. So it's silly when I hear people say that. I just laugh because I'm like, oh, good God, they just throw that out as a talking point and they still can't articulate how.
Right. I had a question, Sherry. Two questions for you. One of them is sometimes when I'm driving through the downtown Dolton, it be a lot of cars there. I'll be trying to figure out where these people at. What's going on down there over there?
So
is there a club?
There is an angel. It's a bar, and she's got an outside garden, like what you would call a beer garden. And then across the street, of course, is Dr. Scott's strip mall. So you've got the currency exchange is gone now, but there's a nail salon there, and then her establishment with all of her stuff is across the street. There is an eyeglass center on the other side of the street, but when you see all those cars, that's at Angels.
Okay, I was gonna stop and try to follow the people, but I said I don't know where I'm gonna walk into, so stop while I'm ahead.
It's like here, everybody knows your name. It's a friendly place. They'll receive you. They're very nice in there.
Okay, thank you. The second question is like that one house that Cassie had went to, the White House. I noticed that somebody had purchased it last year, but it's just still sitting abandoned. How do you find out, or do Dolton find these properties? And so does the property fines outweigh for people? It's hard for them to keep up to get the house fixed.
So in the perfect world, they could be fined. But in the Dolton world, you got to remember, we don't have certified code enforcement officers. So if we don't have that, they shouldn't be giving out tickets, because eventually that could be a lawsuit for the village, because you can't have uncertified or unqualified people writing tickets. Right. But they were doing it anyway. Like, I actually posted a video of when they came to Valerie Stubbs' house trying to give her a ticket for something that they weren't supposed to be giving her a ticket for. The code enforcement young lady wasn't certified. She had been laid off. She wasn't even supposed to be there. And she showed them, and she tried to give her a ticket for cosmetic work. Now, Valerie is a former trustee, so she knows the ordinances. So she's not going to do anything. And this stuff was happening in front. It was on her front of her house building. And you can see that. All you have to do is drive down the block, and you can see it. So she's not crazy. She wasn't just going to do something that she couldn't do.
Right.
But again, that's something that they're going to have to figure out right away. They're going to have to get some certified people in there to do inspections and do all of that stuff, and then they have to revisit the fines themselves, because they were all over the place with the fines, because you don't even know half the time if this is even the correct amount that you should be fined, if you should be fined at all.
Right.
Good point.
Okay.
There should be some state statutes to kind of outline some of these fines and what, by state law, what would be the maximum for somebody. Because I know they talked about that in the news when she was giving out them parking tickets, $500 parking tickets. It was like, well, the amounts for these types of tickets based on the statute code was beyond. I mean, it was so inflated.
That was Lewis Lacey. That was the former police chief, and he did that on his own.
Right.
Another cop, a Dolton police officer, was a whistleblower on that to get that stopped. So
Right.
again, there are things that are in place, but when Tiffany took office, she just started doing whatever she wanted to do. So when she would have her code enforcement, uncertified code enforcement officers go around, if she decided that she wanted to charge you $1,000, there are people that you would talk to, and they would say they get a $500 ticket, and then the one lady code enforcement person would come around and say, "Oh, well, just give me $250." You know, stuff like
Not
that. So
cutting
she would,
deals.
you
Yeah,
know,
shady, underhanded stuff.
Not
Yeah,
not
and that was
cutting the
my point.
deal.
It's like there are certain laws based on certain codes that require a certain maximum of a fine or penalty for. So for them to be unqualified doing that, I'm not surprised. That was kind of what I was alluded to. I'm not surprised that was happening, and it seemed like it was done intentionally so that they could do those backhanded deals to say, all right, you give me $200 though, we good, we'll clear this out, when it should never exist in the first place. So yeah,
right. And that's why we always say, you know, like when we have the board meetings and Trustee Belcher gets on them, because they pay attention to that stuff. They know what should be done. And that's why I always say a lot of the times the people will tell us what we need to do. We know what to do. You know, we know what to do. It's not that we don't know what to do. It's just Tiffany was just rogue. She did whatever she wanted to do, and she didn't care what anybody said. And it was like she's just gonna burn down to the ground because she knows that she's not gonna be. She knew probably a year in that she was gonna be a one-term mayor. She knew when she got recalled. The people spoke.
Yeah.
A judge changed that on us. So again, we know what we need to do. It's just that we need to be able to get down in there and do it. And we just need to keep it a buck. We can't do anything until she's out of those seats. I mean, they have really, really put a leash on her. I will say that. However, we just can't do everything until May 3rd, I think it is. Whatever that
That's
Monday
what
is.
So
With Jason Lee. Gets in the seat.
so let me ask you a question. Here, please put on your tinfoil bonnet or tin laced bonnet. Is it possible that some cabal did not want Jason House to secure? Well, let me ask this. If it wasn't for Cassandra, what would have happened after the primary?
Then Jason would take the seat. So when Tiffany ran for mayor in 2021, Burge, that's the crazy police chief that came after Lacey, he actually ran against her as a write-in, right? We've never really dealt with that. Usually after the primary, it's over because it's a Democratic town, and you just don't have Republicans run. So had Nutball not wanted to do what she's doing, Jason, he still wouldn't take the seat until May, but we wouldn't just have to go through this dealing with the general election.
Okay, so again, tinfoil hats are in place. What if, because he would have been able to start moving things around if it weren't for Cassandra. Is that fair? After the primary, it would have been like, well, there's nothing else to do. We'll just wait till May. He'd been able to make decisions because he would have been the mayor-elect because there's nobody else running. Is that fair or no?
No, he would not be, because she is still the mayor until May 3rd or whatever date, Monday, that meeting, the first Monday of the month. I mean,
so she would still be
doing things, though. They are
right.
They are moving and shaking. They just, we can't know what they're doing, but they got it together. Trust me. They're doing.
So is the Republican now? Is that Republican? Is that Republican running? Wait, no, sorry, I'm thinking about Thornton Township. My bad.
Yeah, that's Township.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, they no, the Republican team, they're running against the Democratic team.
Okay.
And Nate.
And Nate.
And well, no, that's Nate is in Thornton.
Yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
confused with Thornton.
Yeah, we get it together. Come
Can
on,
they
you
at least change
undocumented.
the locks? I mean, can they pop the locks or something?
Yeah,
Do
when can you
like we
change the
did here in
locks? There we
Atlanta.
go.
We locked the guy out down here. So I mean, can they not do that up there?
Allegedly, Village Hall. No, I know Village Hall is open. It's open now. Remember, our Village Hall was closed. I have heard, and I did not hear this from trustees, so I guess I have to say allegedly, but allegedly I've heard from some employees that some locks have been changed. The employees that I talked to, and I talked to quite a few of them, they sound very happy these days. They feel good. They feel relief. They just, like I told you guys, when we were at the clean house celebration, it was about 15 or 20 employees in there.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's the Wiz. Brand new day.
Yeah.
Y'all watch that on your own. Don't give me a copyright strike. Don't give me a copyright. Because that would definitely give me a copyright. Y'all wow.
Hey, Sherry.
Yes,
Sherry. I wonder how I would like for you to talk about the Shaw brothers, because I think that's very important about the suburbs of Dolton.
So, what's so funny? And you might think this is weird coming from me. When I moved here, one of the Shaw brothers was the mayor. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't have no problem. It was clean. I didn't have any issues. I've been going to the board meetings. The board meetings were not drama filled, and they were like 45 minutes to an hour. He was the mayor when I first moved here, but he died shortly after, because he became the mayor in 1997. I forgot when he died, but he died, and then Ronnie Lewis took over. When Ronnie Lewis took over, that's when the decline started. And then Riley Rogers, let's just say him and I don't like him. He wasn't my cup of tea. And then Tiffany, again, I didn't dislike her or like her. She was the lesser of two evils, but I really didn't think that she was the way she is. So I'll say when the Schauber, we had money coming into to the town as well, because he knew how to go down to Springfield and lobby for money. Tiffany doesn't know how to go down and do nothing.
She ride that bike
her
though.
going to Springfield. When she went to Springfield, remember her trip to Springfield when she spent $100,000 riding bikes, pulling a DJ on a trailer. They spent almost $200,000, and they weren't even in session.
Wow.
Wasn't that for Tiffany Cares? That wasn't even about.
That was in her, but that was not her.
That wasn't even about dollars. So can you imagine Imagine. So we spent $200,000 that wasn't even about us, and she came back I don't know if she did it before or after, and then gave herself $10,000 to her charity that wasn't even in good standing with the state. Make it make sense.
And didn't she have Dolton and Thornton Township people?
Sure did. And then she took the Thornton Township vehicles and put her own posters over it, when you can still see the Thornton Township hanging off the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that $10,000 donation came straight from Thornton. That was all levels of illegal. Good Lord.
And she put it on the agenda. She is the one who motioned to do it. Make it make sense.
Oh boy.
So
is there any chance that I can get some meeting minutes?
Listen, Tiffany is a hot mess.
I'm asking for a friend. Can someone email me meeting minutes from the entire year of 2024?
Listen, but what I will say is Tiffany has really put a spotlight. Dolton, of course, but Illinois has always had problems with politics. Think about how many governors we've had to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about politics in general. She's put a bad spotlight on women as far as politicians. Now
Mm-hmm.
people are looking at everybody. The good news about it is everybody is being a little bit more politically savvy, and they're learning and they're going to their meetings because I said it to someone, I don't know what news outlet it was, but I said it can happen. People laugh at us. I'm telling you, they laugh at us, they judge us, but it can happen to anybody. It can happen in any town. All you have to do is elect a nut on accident, like we did.
How does Tiffany say it? Me today, you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, she has really shown us, and looking at her face, Tiffany is changed. Like, people talk about her and stuff. She didn't even used to drink.
Oh, she be getting turned up now? Oh, watch out.
She look like she doing all type of stuff now.
Allegedly.
Oh no.
Allegedly.
Mhm.
Why does
Based
it not
upon
shock me? I'm
information.
not surprised hearing that at all. I'm just not.
Based
Sorry.
upon information and belief.
In her eyes and that glaze she constantly has in them videos. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Hey, Sherry, who do you think who was going to be fired on yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think?
Keep
Do I think
chicken
it's gonna
nugget.
get fired?
Yes, at Thornton Township. If it had
Keep
happened.
chicken nugget.
They playing like they can't fire Keith, so I don't know.
Why they can't?
Listen, I don't even
Who
want to
used
talk
to be
about
number
it.
one on the list with his smart mouth? I got time
Listen,
for me to go.
they all need to go. He needs to go. I like Robert Hunt. I don't understand what he's doing over there. He was
Yeah.
a trustee in Dalton before.
Right.
And I just don't understand what he's doing. What are you doing? I'm not a fan of Keith Friedman. Everybody knows I'm the one who did the petition to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not of the, oh, you doing a good job now. I don't get none of that. I'm not gonna bash him because I'm trying to be a team player, but it's a lot. All of those people who continue, anybody that's still rocking with her in 2025. In fact, anybody that rocked with her through 2024, there's something wrong.
Right.
Mhm.
It's something like
Exactly.
I love Dr. Nikita because she was there 4 months and then she started saying, something ain't right with her. And it was so funny because I would talk to the fire chief all the time and he said, listen, Nikita and Carmen Carlisle, they not with her stuff. They around here looking like, what is she doing? And then Nikita, when she quit, that say I woke up on social media and somebody said that she quit. So I went in her inbox, I messaged her and I said, hey sis, I heard you left. And I did it like 5:30 in the morning. I wasn't expecting her to respond. She responded. Well, now that I talk to her every day for the last almost 3 years, I know she's an early riser. But listen, she messaged me back. I sent her my telephone number, and this was at like 5:45 in the morning. We talked to 11 that same day. We were on the phone all that time. And I was like, wow, sis.
Wow.
She told me her story. She told me everything that happened and how Tiffany, was, and I was with her through some wild stuff. When Tiffany sent the police to her house trying to get her computer, it's just been it's been a lot. I'm telling you. Listen, we were down to getting ready to make videos in case something happened to her.
My goodness.
This is a real Netflix movie or a docuseries.
Are you going to write the book?
Listen, I am so ready to go back into my normal life. I just
Okay.
wanna,
Normal life is crazy.
I got locked out of my Facebook, and I don't know how that happened. But and I know if I go through all my stuff, I'll find the password and stuff. But you know what? I was like, I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah,
I'm like, I get up. I don't want to get on down politics and look at nothing stupid. I don't want to, you just get tired. I like to do what I do. Like I go in, I creep in and look at stuff on my TV. Y'all have me rolling. I love y'all. Listen, when I tell you in stitches, one day I was laughing so hard, I was like, this is crazy. I got to go to bed because y'all had me cracking up. And I pick and choose what I look at because, again, I've been doing this since April of 2021. Relentlessly. My phone has
Protect your
rung
peace.
every single day. I don't get holidays off. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's almost over. And when people say, "Oh my gosh, she should have been arrested a long time ago," listen, I get it, but people are like, "How are you so calm?" I said, "Listen, if you've been doing this 365 days for the last 4 years, you'd be calm too by now."
They coming, people. Don't lose hope. They coming.
They are. People, he's not gonna
They
get
coming
arrested.
now.
I don't even fight with people about that anymore because, again,
Yeah,
I know when people were saying that she might win. Let me just say this: I 1000% got why they were saying that because you're going on the statistics of usual politics. But it was something totally different. People. I was out there with Clean House when we were walking and get petition signed, and when we were just out and about, even with the recall. When we did the recall, we had almost double the people come to vote her out than voted for her when she
Voted
keeps
for her,
saying that
yep.
82%. So at the end of the day, I'm like, I would go into the grocery store on my block. Nobody ever does yard signs. There were 6 people with yard signs on my block. And me, I got 3 in my yard. I got the big, huge one.
That
And
probably
2
was
regular.
your house I saw then.
I'm right out. Yep. I got 1 big one and two regular size ones. Yep. And again, so I get it because if we just going on regular old politics, I can understand why people would have thought she might have had a chance. But from being boots on the ground, and when I tell you I'm boots on the ground, my phone rings every single day. Every single day. People,
Every day.
and I'm not even exaggerating. Every single day. Some days when I don't even want to be bothered, they be like, well, and I say, well, I'm sick today. I had RSV. I had that. People, well, I know you got RSV, but girl, I need this. I need you to find out this. I'm like, Lord Jesus, let me get a little rest, y'all.
No rest for the weary.
None.
I know.
But you know what? We're almost there. Just like I was like, we're not gonna be crying the night of the primary. Ain't gonna be no tears. As soon as it came in, even though we knew it was gonna happen, everybody was bawling like big babies.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that she's gonna have to get her behind carried up out that town hall? I'm just, asking for a friend.
Let me say this: if she had the support that she had a few months ago, I would say yes. But now she's just really got Kamal. And nobody. No, listen, he's her personal driver because she don't have security anymore. Keith Price, I think he'll, show up at a few meetings if he has to. But
he was at the other one, sitting there being smart about what's his whole deal? What is he holding on to here?
Well, let me just say that I don't really say too much about him because of my situation with him and when they came, the powers that be came to my house. But what I will say is they not listen. I think everybody at this point is just trying to jump ship and save themselves. So I think that she'll just go ahead. I think she's over it. I mean, she showed up at that. She's gonna try to get as much as she can, whenever she can. But I don't think they're gonna have a problem. Well, I don't know what the supervisor plans on doing, but I know Jason ain't having it. She getting up out of there. Yeah, people think Jason is super mild. He's just not ignorant. And he's never going to be fighting with people and doing all that. That's just not who he is. And he's been the same. I've known him since he's been in that seat. I remember when he was a young man and he ran for mayor. But he's always been very kind, and You can always call him and talk to him. He don't run from nothing. I mean, he's just not ignorant. And like he said, I'm not going to be arguing with Tiffany because then they'll be saying I'm arguing with a woman. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fight her and all that stuff. He said, that's just not who I am.
Yeah.
Smart
And
guy.
when you argue with a fool, then it's hard to tell who the fool is.
Facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But he
It's a
is
waste of
very,
mental energy. Yeah, she half the words she wouldn't understand what we were saying anyway. So you gotta dumb down just to even try to debate and go back and forth with her.
But
All
you
your
know
words
what's
got to be
sad?
2-syllable words or less. You can't even be eloquent with it.
Right.
It's not worth it.
But what's really sad is she just really doesn't know how stupid she sounds. I mean, it's like when she'll speak, what was that movie? What was the movie? And she was like, I don't know what to say, Byron. She did that. What?
Oh
Who
my
did
God.
Wait,
She
what?
did
That's
that.
not Medea.
Yeah, that's
Something Medea.
yeah, she said that.
Lottery ticket. It was lottery ticket or something like that.
Yeah, I
The
was like, did
Byron.
Yeah,
she did
with
that at a board
Tiana
meeting.
Taylor.
And
Medea's
today,
family reunion. I thought it
yeah,
was that
she
one.
got
No,
mad.
it's not family reunion. It was something to do with a lottery ticket.
Really?
Or yeah,
I
because
don't
family
remember.
reunion is the one where was it family reunion? I don't know. Let me
I'm
see.
disappointed. I'm
They all
disappointed in this
kind of
entire
look. They
panel.
all blending together. I
But y'all
can't
know
keep up
this.
with
I'm
Tyler
disappointed
Perry
in
no
all of
more.
y'all. I'm
Because I
disappointed in
think
all of
no,
y'all.
family reunion was the one where the girl was supposed to get married to Blair Underwood. That's family reunion.
Supposed to get married to
The
Blair
Medea, the
Underwood.
movie, the topic. They all. You know what? It's at a point where I can't really keep up. Unless the title sticks out, I can't keep up with the Medea movies no more. I don't know.
Well, if you've seen
It's
the
one of
actual
them.
plays, if you've seen the plays, you'll
Yeah,
know that he takes pieces of each play and
play and
makes a
put in a
movie out
movie.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
God, I
that's how
wish we
how
could
you
something
gonna
different.
take this piece of the play and this piece of another play
All right.
and put this in one movie? That don't go together.
Hey, come on, Tyler Perry. We're all confused, bro. Do something else, please.
Right.
We confused.
I had to let my dear go to rest, lay to rest. I can't do it. I can't keep up. Mm.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, I got a off the cuff question. It's not about numbnut. How much do you know about the Cook County Treasurer Maria Papas?
All I know is that she got on board with Dolton once we started talking about audits, and she had to get on board. I don't necessarily none of them. You know what? To be honest, in Dolton, we have not had much public help from people. We have had help though. I mean, we have had help from State Rep Thaddeus Jones. We have had help from Senator Napoleon Harris. We've had help from those people, and Monica Gordon, the Cook County. My nose is all stuff again. But we've had just those people, and Mayor Power from Markham. He's he's been supportive of us. We've had that, but everybody else, I'm so disappointed. Chris Welch, Kwame Raoul, they won't get my vote unless somebody put a gun in my head. I'm sorry. No.
Wow.
So she wouldn't be one that would be I guess have some close tie or connection with this mayor. Would you consider her to be someone that probably would defend or take up for her?
No, I think the people that I named, Welch, Kwame Raoul, I think those are the people who they say Trotter was his name, Danny Trotter, they say him. There are people who Marcus Evans, people like that. Now I don't know if they still with her, but they were down with her in the beginning when she was really, when she first started acting a fool. Now a lot of people, they can pretend that they're not with her because nobody is saying anything publicly.
Right.
Nobody has done. Remember when Thaddeus, he went ham on her publicly. When they did when she was trying to do the what was that? When she was trying to with
It was the
mental
caucus.
health. No, the mental health
Oh,
thing,
Oh yeah.
and then they
but I
did
thought
a
that
letter not supporting her.
I thought that when she was what was it? She had gone to court about the
Mhm.
caucus, and I thought she had added Thaddeus's name to her suit,
She
and he
probably
was.
did, but guess what? That's over with.
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
It's over with, but he made a big deal about him putting her. In fact, Max had to change the filing
yeah,
because
because
that
why
is
did she? Why did she? He was there, but remember she was
Yeah.
begging Napoleon.
this is
Napoleon.
illegal.
Yep.
This
It's
illegal.
illegal.
She has a bad habit of putting people's names on lawsuits that don't want to be added to that nonsense. I mean, it's
Listen,
50,
y'all.
50 did it to what Stan Brown. I don't like him at all, but
Listen.
I don't blame him for being mad. Don't be adding me to your stupid lawsuit. I'm not trying to
Wait a
get caught
minute.
up in this.
I was up in
All
the
these judges mad at me.
I was up in the stands at the caucus, and I kicked that I kicked that off. And then when she was down there
They
begging, I
come.
flew down them stairs to stand right down there so I could see her doing all that begging. I was on the floor. You know what? I had to repent because I was laughing at
I
her.
would not have.
I wouldn't have
Y'all
been.
to
You
laugh
I
would
too.
wouldn't
have to
even.
understand that
I
day.
wouldn't waste Jesus' time with repenting on that one.
I
Yep.
had to. No, because when you laugh like that, as grown as I am, you need to repent. I'm sorry.
It's
You
hilarious.
see, you missed my reaction video to that day because I was hollering.
Okay.
That was epic. I said, "Oh, that sweet karma coming back on her for singing that with
Okay.
Ed Steve left." Now she had that coming. She be all right.
But she gonna say, they wouldn't let me in. I had, what did she say, hundreds of thousands? How many? She said it was a whole bunch of
There's
people out there.
hundreds of people out there. They came in
Oh
on
yeah, she
drones.
had thousands that came in on
Okay,
drones.
I'm here to tell y'all. I'm here to tell y'all, and I can tell y'all this now. I got there at 6:30, and it might have been 60 people outside, and all of those people weren't for her.
Oh
No,
I
no,
they
was
of
weren't.
course not.
outside. I
Not
was
that.
standing
And wait a
outside.
minute, and I was like, oh, I ain't gonna be able to get in because it was a little line or whatever. It was a female cop going in the back door. I said, I'm going with you, and I went on in. I got in.
I got there at 6:15, and I couldn't get in.
Yeah, I got there about 6:30. I got in.
Oh, you said you went through the back door, right? That side,
Yep, I
that
just
door.
walked in with a police officer.
I was
Oh,
online
okay.
with DWC.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
What was I doing?
We did. It was you and another gentleman. I can't think of his name, but you all
Oh,
had to.
Mike. Yep.
Yeah,
It
and I
was
was in the
Mike.
comments,
Yep.
and then I did I come up then? Did I come up then?
I don't
I don't remember.
remember. I don't remember.
But yeah,
It's
you
all
all
like a
had to.
blur.
You changed the lights in the back to match the cards that they had to
Yep.
hold up.
Yeah, we were being ridiculous.
That was
It
a
was
good day
quick,
though.
though.
Yes,
It was
they
quick.
did. We
Yeah,
had a
when she
good old
came
time.
out, I was standing kind of next to Krigley when she came out, and he was like, "Tiff, what's wrong?" She looked like she was about to break down crying when she
She
came out that
was
door.
crying. She was crying.
That
They
was her
actually
bread
one
and
of the news
butter.
actually caught her crying.
I believe it.
I was like, I didn't know it was possible. Like she could make her eyes leak water. Like what?
That was her. She saw her paycheck go away.
It's a big
You
paycheck.
would cry too.
Yeah.
You
Bigger than a
Would cry
paycheck.
too if you knew what I knew.
No, my money, no.
She was hot. She was hot.
Mm-hmm. Well, she better cool off because it's over with.
Oh yeah.
Do you
And
She
she
stood
done
in the middle of that
apologized.
store looking like a bottle of Pepto Bismol. I was like, look at you with all your pennies.
Yeah, she was. Okay, let me ask a question about that. What do you think happened to all those shirts she brought? Remember, she brought she had arms full of shirts.
What a waste
Whatever
of
happened to
money.
those shirts?
Waste of money.
And
She
there were
sent them back
flyers in
to
the
the
bottom.
shop to change them so that when she ran for mayor, it would say congratulations. But now I don't know where the shirts are now.
Ain't no telling. Listen,
Yeah, and
I had a shirt
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean I don't want to talk
Go
over
ahead.
anybody.
I'm listening. If it's for me, go ahead. I'm listening.
Who do you think those others were that she added to that bank account? Asking for a friend.
You mean the Dolton bank account?
Yeah.
Janice Johnson and Tangenique Miller?
That's who she added to the Fifth Third bank account.
From my understanding, those were the people that she added to the bank account. I don't know what made her do that, but I could be corrected, but that's what I thought.
So when she took off the village clerk, she added Tangenique Miller and who else?
Janice Johnson.
Janice Johnson.
And Janice is a relative, right? Or is it Tangenique?
Neither one of them.
Neither. Okay.
So
wow.
Tangenique used to work for the village under Riley's administration, and I liked her. I don't know what happened to her.
The money.
Tangenique, is that the young lady that she fired?
Tangenique left.
Okay.
And she was gone, and people was beating up on her, and she had been gone.
Tangenique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Janice has worked for the village for over 20 years. So she was there during the Shaw administration. She was there during Ronnie Lewis's administration, Riley Rogers. So I'm sure that when all this happened, I know she was like, what is going on? She probably was like, I'm sure she done seen a lot, but with Tiffany, she probably got a whole bit, and she lost a lot of weight. I love her. She's a beautiful girl. She lost a lot of weight. But they were harassing her. From my understanding, they stuck her down in the basement, and she has like this big glass window, and I know exactly what office she's in. They say Kamal used to sit there and look at her.
Really?
Anything Tiffany told her to do, she better do it, allegedly.
Wow.
Wow. Tangenique Miller.
Listen, y'all. This girl, I think one of the reasons she's working so hard to stay in these positions, or she was, is because she knows when they really get to opening up that village hall, when she has no access, it's all the bones, everything. They're going to find everything.
Man.
I think they have shred parties.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they always watch it, so they just sit back like laughing at it all, like silly woman thinks we won't come for her. They watching. Oh man.
Yeah, she playing in their faces, and they don't like that.
They don't
like that, and she
That's what I'm saying.
She doesn't understand, and I don't trust her boyfriend either, because her boyfriend is probably trying to get back with his wife.
I mean, how could you trust him when he's still married?
I mean, really, he's got some fatal character flaws.
Right. Yeah.
He's some pretty egregious character flaws.
And then if you go by what word on the street, he got babies and everything on her. So she needs to be looking at that. She needs to be looking at that.
When Jade was in front of her house and he was talking to Kamal, I was literally riding down 294 I was coming from South Holland going to Bellwood, and I listened to that whole tirade, and he was talking about somebody named Candy. I was like, say more.
Yeah, but that was his wife. That was his wife. She don't have any kids with him. That was one of his wives. She's a pretty girl. She's an entrepreneur. She got it going on. So allegedly, he has a baby in Atlanta by a hairstylist that's just doing well for herself. And then supposedly he has one here, because I know that she spoke to somebody, the sister of the one. So that's 2 little babies within the 4 years that they've been together.
Wow.
Crazy.
She put up with that. That's what she thinks she deserves. So, I guess it is what it is. I guess it is what she deserves. She tolerates
him. She loves him. But I just don't understand what they're doing. They supposedly broke. I mean, but between the two of them, they make $500,000 a year. What's wrong?
Exactly.
That's true.
He just looked. He may take a shower every day, but he just looked dusty.
Every day. No, I average out about 3 days, 4 days. He look like he's about a 3 or 4 day a week type person.
Look, you know what? He just look like he don't brush his teeth. Now that was so funny.
Right.
Them
When
ciggies.
As we smoke.
when Tommy G said it looked like her work campaign workers get paid with cigarettes.
Yeah, they did. They did look like that.
You say he go to
Asked for 2
independence
hours.
and passing the cartons out.
But it's so funny because you never hear him talk, so it just freaks me out to hear him speak. The first time I heard him speak when they was harassing Jed and Alsop. Remember when they had Lacey pull up and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That was the
Yep.
first time I ever heard him speak because he would never speak.
Yep.
He never speaks. So I heard him then, and then to hear him, it's just wild. Wild.
It's even worse to see here what he said in that Tommy G video was like, bingo, bam, bam, bam. Like, dude, shut up. You know how accounting works. Like, why are you talking? Like, he probably should not speak because he's very ignorant.
It
Very
takes
ignorant. He
Alicia
shouldn't
to
speak
talk
at
to
all.
him. When Alicia is talking to him, I just crack up.
Okay. Oh man,
He
she
always
has
makes
a
them look
way of
stupid.
clowning him in just the epic of fashions. It's so funny.
Okay. Hey, come on.
Can't stand her.
Sorry, man, I can't wait to dump this girl and get away from all y'all.
Oh my God! Listen, they pulled up for the presidential race. So me and Miss Thelma, we were at Lincoln School, giving out literature, and Krigley was with us, and Jason was there too at first, and then they left. Jason and Dr. Nikita, they left to go to another polling place for a few minutes. So, before they left, Tiffany and Kamal pulled up. They got out the car, and Tiffany was like, "How y'all doing?" I was like, "Did she really just speak to us?" And he was like, "How y'all doing?" And then Nikita was like, "Hey, Kamal, how you doing?" And Tiffany turned around and looked like, "Why he speaking to my man?" I said, "Girl, bye.
Girl,
Ain't
bye.
nobody
Don't
saying
nobody
nothing
want
about him." And as soon as they left, Krigley started acting a fool. I was like, "Oh Lord!" So did him and Thelma about to argue? Then I'm like, "Do you know me and Thelma? We went to high school together. We went to Hyde Park together. Listen, we would beat him up."
My
He
sister went to
started.
Hyde Park, same time with you.
Oh, okay. Your sister went to Hyde Park. You said
Yeah, she was in that program. That's whatever
the
that
magnet
program.
program.
Yes,
What year did she come out?
in '85.
So she was a year older than me. I came out in '80. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know
but
that day of that election, I just happened to be driving down by that school, and I saw all the news camera, and I tried to move over and park, but there was no parking on that street,
He's
so
so
I had to go on the
nosy. I
side.
love you.
No, I know, I'm just nosy.
He's so nosy. He's so
I'm just
nosy.
nosy. And then I started walking down the sidewalk. I looked. I said, "That's more. I'm not going to go down that way." But I saw when Tiffany and Kamal, they was in that parking lot, and they jumped in, and they had so many Cook County sheriffs over there. I was like, "Who died over here?"
no, the Monica Gordon. She said ain't gonna be no hanky panky and dog. They was not gonna let Tiffany do nothing or intimidate nobody. So she made the Cook County clerk. She made sure we was okay and dog. And they was ready for Tiffany.
Okay,
That's what
it
that
was a
was all
lot.
about. They wanted to make sure we was gonna be okay, and wasn't gonna have no issues, with her. And she was out herself.
Mm.
Yep,
That's good.
wasn't playing with Tiff. But
Well,
again,
April
it's
1st should
almost
be very
over.
interesting to see. So, because, I think her having time to marinate on everything and being the sore loser that she is. And then, of course, Tommy G just came and slam dunked it with his
Yeah, we
video.
did everything.
I expect her to start losing her mind a little bit. But I'm
I'm gonna
just,
tell you, he got a lot of footage, so he could do 2 or 3 videos. I'm shocked it was only 40 minutes because he was in there with us. He interviewed Valerie for like 30 minutes actually.
good.
I talked to him a lot. He was in there because we were there, of course, before everybody got there. So when I got there, it was only a few people there. You know, So yeah, he got a lot, and then he was back and forth between her campaign office. Then he left somebody there, and then he came over back to us. He was there all night. He had been there all day. So we knew that he was coming to do that because he had interviewed her a few weeks before. And then what he wanted to do is he wanted to get the resident side.
Love it.
So he came back election that he was there like 3 weeks ago, and he spent the day with her.
Right.
And then everything that she said, he came to us, and then we gave him more information. Literally, a lot of that stuff came from us. Like, if you see the video of Kamal's party, it's a brief where they show that in this video. That's my video.
What?
At a party?
Kamal's party.
I missed the party.
That was that one.
He had a whole party
At
where?
the car wash. If you see all those people outside, it flashes real fast.
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay, I need to watch that again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I did see that.
And real quick, Sharon, who recommended Keith Freeman?
Chris Welch.
Yep.
Who is Chris
I was
Welch?
say that, but I wasn't sure. I thought it was Chris Welch.
Yeah,
The Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House in Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois Speaker of the House.
He did. Him and okay, so allegedly his wife, who the Speaker of the House wife, Shanti Rainswell, she was also our legal counsel. So I see a donation to Tiffany campaign, and then next thing you know, Shanti is our legal counsel. She didn't stay very long because, well, in her letter, which I also have, which is public knowledge, that she's saying that Tiffany doesn't listen, this, that, and third, but allegedly, Tiffany also had an inappropriate relationship with the Speaker of the House. I'm saying allegedly.
Dear Lord.
Oh, just drop the mic. Put my phone down now.
Now let me say this. Let me just say this.
Dear Lord.
And I'm not gonna say too much about Chris. I've known Chris since seventh grade.
I thought he was gay personally, but
Tiffany, I don't think that I don't see it.
You know what? That I heard it from two different sources. But again, that's why I'm saying allegedly, because I heard that he don't, But again, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm loving this conversation. Yeah. I'm loving this conversation so much. I'm about to look him up because I have no idea who he is.
Again, that's allegedly. But
I get your alleged. I got your
That's what they are saying, but I don't know if that's the case. I think she left because the Tiffany don't pay attention. She don't listen to nobody. So I couldn't be her legal counsel either. But those are the things that were on the rumor mill. So
I met Shantae at our class reunion. That was my first time meeting her. She's nice. I mean, I never issue with her, but.
Well, Miss Solomon is trying to withdraw now, so I'm not shocked. One of the most incompetent attorneys I've ever heard of myself is trying to withdraw.
Latching on to her. Stay with her. Stick with her like a leash. Like a leash.
Oh no, they're not gonna let him because they got a motion out to get him sanctioned. I mean, he did all this nonsense. He going out trying to be a mouthpiece, and it's opposed to him having a spine and a backbone and remembering why he went to law school. He decides to let his client run all over him. So now there's a price to pay for that. And that level of incompetence can easily get you removed from the bar. I don't even know why his bar license is valid. I mean, my God.
Yeah, but he stays in trouble.
Yep.
And then what about Bo? Is he still around? Who is her attorney now? Is he still around? And what happened to Miss Lockett?
These are great questions.
To her?
Lockett got moved by an injunction. So the court, when they did that TRO to keep her from firing Freeman and get rid of Michael Smith.
Woman.
Yeah, she was one of the ones that was listed in that injunction. Like, okay, no, she cannot represent the
She
village
couldn't
as an
represent
attorney.
her as at the village, but she was representing her in other stuff, and then she fell
Yeah.
off.
Oh yeah, I would.
I haven't
I
seen her
mean,
in a while.
anyone that's smart should not want to be near her, let alone represent
Right. That is
represent
true.
her in any capacity. Because first of all, you represent her in her personal capacity. How you getting paid? You can't even get guaranteed payment, and then you shouldn't be representing her in her official capacity because now you're being paid with tax dollars that no one approved.
Right.
So no, they shouldn't even want to be within 50 feet of her. I mean,
And they didn't care. So you remember when they went to court and the judge was all over them, and Burge went down there with her when he was trying to be the chief. Remember when he told the judge asked him because he didn't have his certifications and stuff, and remember when the judge asked him, were you haven't been carrying a gun? And he said, no, sir. Remember he said, no, sir. Listen. I was when they were taking down those banners with
Those
her
banners.
face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, stop it. They was out there. Tiffany called the police. Bird showed up, and he had what?
A gun on his
A
hip.
gun.
Wow.
Listen, I FOIA'd that, and I had it for like a month. And then when he went to
Wow.
court, I called Regina. I said, listen, I'm getting ready to send you something to your email. She was like, oh, my God. How long have you had that? I said, here you go. He lied. And then when he found out that we put him on the spot. See, that's what I do. I do stuff behind the scenes. When we bust him out about that, when we was the one who gave that to the news. So, hey. And then listen, when they were taken, they got all the way down by my house. Thank goodness. They took, because I'm on the far west side of Dolton. In fact, I'm so far west, if you go a couple of blocks, you could be in Harvey, or across the street is South Holland. So again, they had gotten all that stuff down, and then she called the police. Krigley had already been laid off. Michael Smith wasn't the village administrator, and he has that on his LinkedIn, by the way. That he was the village administrator. Yes, he does.
Michael Smith. Really?
Doc.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He's so pathetic.
Yep. So what it is they just riding this gravy train till the gravy is dry. They're going, a lot of people are, but they're not supporting her publicly, and that's why I'm saying we're not going to have a problem getting rid of her, because she's just going to go her and Kamal. The employees aren't afraid anymore. She's just, and then I heard she said that she accepts the vote.
I haven't heard her say it. It would be nice to hear her, put on her big girl pants and say something.
She said it to Ben Bradley.
Ben Bradley said it, yeah.
Right.
But
the
sure
writing was on the wall with regards to her support when the numbers came out that night of the election. Nobody was at her. Even in bigger races, when someone loses, they still have, they're still there waiting for the results to come in. Nobody was even there waiting for the results.
Yep. I want to know how she did in her own precinct. That's what I want to know. I never got those numbers. I'm going to ask somebody for those numbers tomorrow, now that I'm thinking about it. I want to know how she did in her precinct.
Wow.
Because somebody said in one precinct she got 2 votes.
Yeah, I'm about to say a lot of people. I've come across a lot of comments where people have said, "Well, I knew her for when she was a trustee, never trusted her then." So I think most people who really really knew her and her style and ethics and all of that, they're the main ones that have said flat out, she is not to be trusted.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. When it comes to that, people didn't like the way she called Riley Rogers out. Now, we can say whatever we want to say, and she wasn't couth about it, but some of that stuff she was saying to him was real deal. Yeah. And it was the truth. She just didn't know how to talk to people. She doesn't know how to speak to people. I don't think that you should ever swell up at an adult. We are all adults. We can talk to each other like we have sense. She didn't know how to do that. And we used to tell her, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. So a lot of the things she was saying to him were correct. It was just her delivery was very unnecessary.
Right.
So
It
that's
was
what
too extra.
some of them were saying, because she was not a criminal. She wasn't a criminal, and she wasn't stealing from the village at that point. So again, people just didn't like her because they didn't like the ghetto. They didn't like the way she would speak to Riley Rogers. But again, she was asking some very legit questions. And I know she was, because we would ask her to ask some of those questions, if I'm being honest. And I'm being honest.
Right.
But
So,
see, even and I'm not like it's nothing wrong with giving healthy challenge. It's nothing wrong with challenging those,
too much.
asking questions. But she was out of bounds. But even with the meeting where her, I guess I don't even know what you call that whole thing where she was made supervisor. I reacted to that video and how that whole thing went down. The people that were there from Thornton Township that did attend the meeting, 90% of them were very upset at her becoming supervisor. And these are people that are in Thornton now. And they were even upset and was like, well, you all just took the people, which they did. They took the voice of the people away, and you just put her in this position. They didn't have any say so. And most of them walked out infuriated. I mean, people were yelling, like, no, like this is horrible. Like that goes to show she was disliked on both levels between
that's how
Dolton
it
and Thornton. So yeah.
And that's how it started in Dolton politics, because we were in Dolton politics and it wasn't as popular. But the night she won, the next day I went in and I made a post. I said, you guys have just made the biggest mistake. Now she's going to do to the township what she has done to Dolton.
Yeah.
But Tiffany had plans all along, and she had plans with whoever is protecting her. You know, Frank Zuccarelli wasn't well. I'm sure they had a plan for this to happen well before he passed on, honestly, because she was right there. And like she told Dr. Nikita, I'm getting ready to be the supervisor.
Jesus.
Told her that the day Frank died.
Wow. Never mind. It wasn't. She didn't even make it about him. She's making it about her. So she's a narcissist. Oh God.
Oh my God. And again, we did not know that, because she needed her crown to be straightened up. That's what it seemed like. And, you know, she was shaking her head and, you know, going, because people wouldn't, but I know people that voted for her because I told them or asked them, because I can't say told them to, because we were really trying to change the narrative, because we were going through it in Dolton before her. You know, and again, she played the part. Listen, we were trying to get her set up. Remember, I told you guys that her campaign manager, Marquis Son, we were trying to get her set up with a speech coach and everything. We tried to help her. Like I said, we had Tea with the Trustees online, and we had all these plans, and she would be on there with residents lying through her teeth, like she was going to do the right thing. And I'm telling you, we started seeing things, and Dorothy Brown helped her. Dorothy Brown made her feel like she was a little princess and could do whatever she wanted.
Wow. Did Dorothy Brown write her acceptance speech? Her what's called speech? Her inauguration speech?
I don't know that she did that for sure, but I would say that probably. And what people don't understand is, when Dorothy Brown got that seat, she lied, and Tiffany said Dorothy Brown was only going to be a consultant. She said she's not going to be the village administrator. They kept on asking her, give us some people to look at, some resumes for the village administrator, if Dorothy's not going to be the village administrator. Then, of course, she made her the village administrator. And I was, we were like, we don't want her in that role, because we knew of all the things that she had going on in the city of Chicago. So I talked with Dane Placco. He's a local Fox News person. And he said, Sherry, You don't need 1,000 people to have a protest. Get a couple dozen people and get out there. So I got a bullhorn. Well, I had somebody come with a bullhorn, and it was just a couple dozen of us. Dane Placco was there. Martin, Crime Chaser, was there filming, and the rabbi, he was there filming. And we were out there, and we were protesting, and this was in November. I think it was November 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. And she was gone the next month. She went on and resigned.
Wow.
Wow.
So we weren't having it. So we have been fighting. When I tell you we've been fighting, I sent text message to everybody. I said, listen, I just need a couple dozen people with me because it's hard to get people out in Dolton. People started coming to the board meetings for the drama. I'm telling you. They did. Some people didn't care about what was going on. The only thing they cared about is she wasn't letting people in the building. So they were going to come and try to get in the building. That's it.
Wow.
That's all. We had a lot. And in the beginning, she had a lot of people. She would fill the boardroom, even if she had to have them come through the back door and fill up the seats.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's been a very stressful. So it just feels really good to be on the other side of it now. And
How do you feel about us YouTubers kicking in and pitching in and reporting and bringing light to this? Because I think I get a lot of I hear a lot of rumblings about all these outsiders looking at these YouTubers and that is so bad.
But you know what? I think a lot of people brought that on themselves. That was the way they would feel when we would correct them. A lot of people don't want to be corrected.
Right.
I don't mind being corrected at all if I'm wrong, and that's why I say I can always be corrected. And Jason will tell you what he would always say is, no, they're not. We're looking at them like neighbors, and they're not outsiders. And it was a double-edged sword until people started saying, okay, nah, she is a nut. You know what I'm saying? And when people, for me personally, I think it was a good thing because I'm the one who started pushing for them, a lot of people started after I did, but I started pushing for YouTubers and reaching out to YouTubers 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. And I like good reporting. I think that there's a niche for everybody. I don't think everybody is going to report the same way. I like different platforms. Like I always say, I love you guys. I laugh. It's funny and it helps me get through it because sometimes you want to cry thinking about what we're going through. Pink Book Lesson, she doesn't do interviews. She just does her own straight reporting. That's that. Hannibal, I like his style. I was watching him one night. He was doing something on Tiffany, and I was in the comments, and then he said something, and I politely corrected him, and it wasn't like a big thing. It was just that he had it wrong. And so I said, well, no, it's like this. And then we started interacting, and he made the point that a lot of people jump on Dolton residents, and they call us stupid, and they talk about us and say, we get what we deserve because we voted for her. Well, we didn't think that it was going to be this bad. And when we saw what she was doing, we tried to correct it.
Exactly.
We didn't go into
set
this
out with this, right?
Yeah, we didn't want to see her fail. You know what? I would rather be celebrating her doing great than going through this.
Right.
Tiffany, she's young, but she's not young. People say she's young. She'll be 42 in June.
Right.
So she's not a child either. So and to answer your question, I think that we wouldn't be this far had we not had the YouTubers. I don't look at them as outsiders. But again, I like some people do research and some people don't. Because if people do the research, they would know that we have done it all. It's not rocket science. We know what she's doing. We know what we need to do. We had good, decent government. We weren't in this big deficit like Cassandra said. Yeah, we needed to change mayors but it wasn't because he had stole all the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, I think that they're calling themselves outsiders at this point because Jason has made it clear 3 times now. He said it twice in meetings, and he said it at his at the
acceptance speech.
Acceptance speech. You know, we all the you know, we couldn't have done this without the YouTubers, without people that are in the comments on social media. They do research. They have stepped in and did FOIAs. They have wrote letters to the ARDC when the attorneys are acting crazy. They have reached out to the AG's office. I mean, you have people like, I just saw Judge Petty. She has done basically free advertising for the campaign. I mean, if you call her as far as research, she is on it. All in the queue.
Shut up.
I mean, with the research is just unmatched. They are great. They are really great. So, and everybody is and everybody, you know, does things differently. Like I get people, you know, I think it was a lot of like fighting amongst the YouTubers and stuff. It's enough room for everybody with this Tiffany stuff because she's a good that keeps on giving. So people don't have to be angry about that. Let's just all come together and report it however we want to.
Yeah.
Let me jump in that. Let me jump on that real quick, Sherry, because I think something that we need to make sure we put in context because you all are genuinely attempting to do the right thing. Sure, some of you all are busting a U-turn because you were going in one direction, or some of you all were moving a little bit slower, but now you're caught up with the rest of the herd. I think that's what's actually attracted so many people to your cause and to your case. Because, I mean, show of hands, how many of y'all knew where Dolton was before this happened? And I'm from Illinois.
Heard of it.
And I'm from Illinois, and I didn't know about it before this, right? So, but I think it's because of the genuine nature of you all wanting to do the right thing, and watching people say like, "Hey, I messed up. I shouldn't have been a part of this. I thought it was going to go one way, and I was wrong. And now I'm trying to." And you see that they're actually making attempts to fight against. It's not just lip service, but they're actually taking people off bank accounts and suing people and doing this, that, and the third. So you see like, okay, yeah. And I think that's what drew people in to want to support your story, not just wanting to dunk on Tiffany, but also wanting to see you all prosper and succeed in this and want to see what the story is going to end. So, I mean, I think we're almost toward the end, but it could be like a Marvel movie where they got like 3 post-credit scenes, so we don't know how many. There could be like 3 post-credit scenes in this joint, but I think that's what's drawn so many people to your side to help you out, wanting to help you, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
But you are so right. It's so true, and it's you can become emotional with that. And I'm not an emotional person. I will say that it absolutely does help us. And I have had someone come to me who was with her, and they said, you know, it feels good to be on the right side of this. And she said, I'm just glad that I'm going to be on the right side of history when this is over.
Well, let me say this. My cousin lives in Dolton, and Sherry, you probably have seen her because she's at all of the Dolton meetings, and she goes to tea with the trustees. But she had told me a long time ago about Tiffany, and I'm one of those people where I hear you, but maybe until it affects me personally, I'm not really invested in what you're saying. So I knew about Tiffany's shenanigans, and then when she became the supervisor, because I'm in the township, when she became the supervisor, I started not paying as much attention, but it didn't really hit me until last year. I want to say maybe March, April. I was at my cousin's house in Dolton, and she showed me a video of this guy named Antoine in Detroit.
Anton. Please don't. Make sure you say Anton.
Anton. And he was interviewing Nikita. And I was like, I know Nikita. And she was like, you know her? I was like, yeah, I used to be in the same office with Nikita. And so I'm watching the video, and I was like, wait, this is what's going on in Dolton? And she was like, yeah, I've been telling you. I was like, oh, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know. And I'm in the township. So, yeah, YouTube has done a lot with opening the eyes of even those who
Mm-hmm.
live here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Anton has flipped the script. He, at first he was with Tiffany. I mean, first he wasn't with Tiffany, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, she's a trip." And then I don't know if it's for ratings or whatever, and he started talking crazy about us, talking about Trustee Belcher's appearance,
Let me tell you
talking
when it
about
happened.
Jason, and
When
he
when
snapped.
it changed is when the trustees got Lightfoot. As soon as they did that, that's when he
Hmm.
flipped.
So,
That's when
and
he flipped.
can I say this about Lori Lightfoot for people who just
Please
really
do.
hate
Yep.
her? Let me just say this.
Yes.
We did not hire her to be the mayor of Dolton. We hired her because of her FBI experience and connections.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they said that they were going to have investigations. So why not have our own investigation? She got a lot of doors open that we couldn't get open. It was $30,000. Tiffany has spent millions of dollars. And they kept talking about the $400 an hour. We
They
all
love
know
that.
that. But listen to this: Delgado charges almost $800 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, come on. And I mean, she did the reports, and it was it just needed to be put down. I mean, some of the stuff we knew, some we didn't, but just hearing it from her talking to state officials and law enforcement, giving
Mm.
that information to the people that need to have it, the residents. They talked about it at tea with the trustees before it happened. And then they brought it to the board meeting because some residents wanted it to be excuse me, talked about at a board meeting. And as a whole, the residents decided, yeah, we wanted her. Now everybody was beating us up about that. Lori Lightfoot, it was worth what we spent, in my opinion, as a person who has been boots on the ground. And I never want to push that much. But I was glad when I was doing this by myself. I started off, yeah, it was people doing things, but when I brought it to social media, it was myself, Dan Lee, Mr. Dan Lee. I got him to help me with writing letters and stuff. Thelma Price, I enlisted her. I we I I got a group text. I reached out for Stephanie Wiedemann. I
Mm-hmm.
reached out for Nikita. I reached out for John Kraft. Jim Giglio, rest in peace. He was a former trustee of the township. But I reached out to him because I used to see him. He used to go in on Tiffany on Facebook, and he didn't care because I was like, he's a older white man, and I was like, he don't care. He's not worried about what people are saying. So we
Right.
Right.
had a group chat. Listen, when she hid those vehicles, remember when she hid the vehicles, the Tahoes that she had them, she tried to hide them because she had them outfitted like police cars, and that's
Mhm.
illegal. So she thought that they were going to take the actual vehicles because some investigators from the Secretary of State came down from Springfield. They came to take the plates off the car. So she hid the vehicles. So I had been reaching out to Edgar County Watchdogs, and he hadn't got back to me. And people kept saying, "Don't worry, he'll get back to you. It's only two of them. Don't get discouraged." So I was emailing and calling, and then my phone rung at like 6:45 in the morning, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
217 number. I was like, "Oh my God, who is this?" This
That's
early in the
Springfield.
morning. It was, and I answered the phone, and he's got a real southern drawl. He was like, "Well, hello there." I said, "Oh my
Uh-oh.
God." He said, "I got some information for you." He go, "I know where she's got hid the vehicles." And I was like, "What?" So he told me where the vehicles were. I jumped up, threw on some jogging pants, and got in the car, and I'm driving, and I'm on my way there, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So I called Valerie Stubbs. I said, "Listen, I got a call from Edgar County Watchdogs, John Kraft, and he told me where the vehicles are." She said, "I'm meeting you." She said, "Where you at?" So we went over there and we took video of the car. She had them hidden in the South Holland Community Center, senior center building. So we took
You should
video
took them
and
to the car
everything.
wash.
Listen, yeah, that's what she could have put them. No, that was too easy because
I guess so.
Chief Collins was telling her to bring him the plates. He was pissed off at her, but she, eventually she did. But so we got the video, and that's how the news got the video, because we gave it to John Kraft and we sent it to the news. Me and Valerie, we were up at 7:00 in the morning, creeping, trying to get video of
Let me
the
have some investigative work I need done. I'm calling you, Sherry.
Okay. Look here. We got what, 2-3 more males here down in Atlanta. We got to go ahead and get rid of right quick.
Listen, I
Come
had
on down here,
somebody
Sheriff.
call me and ask me to run her campaign. I said, I don't do that.
You would be awesome at that.
I don't do that.
You would be
And I
awesome.
ain't running for office. Nope.
You know what? You got to know your ministry.
You can
If
make
it
a
ain't your
private
ministry, don't do
investigator.
it.
Listen, I ain't doing that either. I'm finna relax and eat bonbons.
Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Peggy
Well,
buddy.
yeah, I don't need to do that because I need to. As we get
don't do it.
older, it's a little harder to get this weight off. So yeah, maybe I won't eat bonbons, but I want to do what I want to do, whatever that is. I'm
Just
tired of
do one bond. Don't do the bonbon.
Right, there you go.
Just do one bond.
Do a bond.
A bond.
Right. Listen, I'm like, yeah. Listen, y'all. Okay, I know I can't do that. My husband can eat whatever he want to eat, and don't gain a pound.
Don't they make you mad?
He eat and I gain the weight.
You can sniff it and gain weight.
Listen,
oh man.
Well, ladies, I want to. Speaking of creeping around at 7:00 in the morning, I need.
Oh, you gotta get some sleep, bro.
It's past my bedtime, y'all.
I haven't gone to sleep since Tuesday. Since Monday.
Oh
my Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's different. All right.
I couldn't get me sleep last night.
Okay. Well, you get you some sleep.
right.
I have to get up in the morning for work. Whatever time I'm getting up is what I'm getting up.
Absolutely.
Well,
This has been fantastic. Thank you, Sherry, for all your tidbits and
Thank you, Sherry.
Anytime, you
information,
guys.
honey.
I've been trying to get with you guys. It was maybe 2 months ago. You had asked me, and then I had issues with my dad. My dad ended up having a long back surgery, and he had recovery and all this. So I just hadn't been able to get on here. But I try to pay attention. You guys are one of the ones that I like to look at. So.
Well, thank you. Sherry, grab my email. You're welcome to email me whenever. And if you ever want to just come on and talk and whatever like that, you're welcome. Just
Okay, it's
grab
in
my
the
email.
comments, right?
I just put it on the
I'll
screen.
send mine as
It's
well.
on the screen
I would
right there.
love to have you on. I really would.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell Dr. Nikita I'm waiting for her to reply back to my
I'll talk
Dr.
to her
Nikita.
every morning, so I will
When
let
you
her
talk to her in
know.
the morning, say Jason said, did you confirm what it was that y'all was talking about?
Okay, I will do that.
Hint, you know what I'm talking about. But thank you so much, Sherry. That was great to have you come on. Thank you for shedding light. And
information.
yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Let me spoil it. Election night, where's Team House having their celebration party at?
You know what?